and welcome to the Kia Oval, a sunny southeast London for the return, the start of the 2026 Vitality Blast season. Lancashire are in town for a double header. We have the women going first and the men later on the evening. I'm Cameron Ponsonby and I'm joined, to my great excitement, by Georgie Heath back in the country. Kirstie White's also with us. She's going to be providing some player insights. She's got her headphones off at the moment, so we'll lean on her as and when. Georgie, first of all, allow me to indulge myself before we get on to the more important matter of the cricket. How are you? Welcome back. Welcome home.
Yeah, nice to be back. And I like to think that I've brought the sunshine.
Correct.
I say that was all me, so you can all thank me later for that one. No, good to be back. Blast season, it really is summer now, isn't it? The blast is back. It's blast off, whatever you want to say. As many puns as you can get in, and I'm so here for it. And Surrey reigning champions, day one, back in action, home ground. Really exciting. Obviously, a few players are just too good. They're just too good, Surrey.
So
lost players to international duty. We'll allow it. But yeah, really exciting to see just the strength and depth of this side coming through as they come out to defend their crown.
And while we are missing several players to international duty, the likes of Alex Capsey, Danny White, Hodge, Tilly Courtine, Coleman, Sophia Dunkley, we do have some superstar overseas players that have been signed both by Surrey and the visiting team Lancashire. First of all, I'm going to start with Surrey, because while she may not be as prestigious a player, might have not won the accolades that Lancashire's overseas player has. Laura Harris is quite comfortably one of my favourite players to watch. She played for Birmingham last year, and she had the strike rate that was in a different universe to everyone else in the competition. She's such an exciting player to watch. She hits more sixes than anyone else. I've seen she's listed at number 6 on the batting card. That's 5 spots too low for me, because I want to see her face as many balls as possible. But it's not even potentially the most exciting signing to be playing in this match, because Meg Lanning, the Australian legend, has signed for the entirety of the Blast for Lancashire. So 2 teams going toe-to-toe with 2 very exciting Australian players in each 11.
Yeah, and obviously we saw last year Grace Harris as part of the Surrey side. So we've had one Harris. She's not here. We've got the other Harris, and it's just to see if she can have the same kind of impact. Obviously, Grace in that final last year just came out, went bish, bash, bosh, as she does. I don't think Laura names her bats after burgers.
No, not been confirmed anyway.
No, not been confirmed. I can't think of anything else you would name it after. Don't know. Anyway, let us know. Ice cream flavours, maybe?
Hot dogs, different types of sandwiches.
What would you go for?
Oh, no. You've got me here immediately. I'll just go back to the classics. I remember the woodworm baps when there was the torch and the flame and the leaf. There was the green one, which was the leaf. In regards to this fixture here, Lancashire have won the toss, and they're going to have a bat first on what's a very, very sunny day. We're on a very central wicket here, as we often are in the T20 matches. Surrey's backroom staff have been at their magic again. We know it's one of our kind of a pet favourites. I don't know if that's actually a phrase, but I'm going to roll with it.
Go with it.
Where we have very short, straight boundaries here today, but we're quite big square of the wicket. And the Surrey's backroom staff often analyse the opponents, and they'll work out what kind of the best boundary dimensions are for each given match. A kind of brief look at the 11s as the umpires are walking out to the middle, and we will be underway in about 2 minutes' time. There are several kind of flamethrower fire things in place. We're expecting a literal blast off to get the competition underway. But if you are going to run down the Lancashire team, Eve Jones and Meg Lanning will be getting proceedings underway. And these 2 teams, of course, played here at this ground on Saturday, so only 6 days ago. There we go, blast off indeed. Flames are flying at the Kia Oval as we are ready for another year of thrilling cricket. So Jones and Meg Lanning are walking out to the middle. We wait to see who will take the new ball for Surrey. They have often kind of been sharing it around a little bit. Tilly Courtine Coleman isn't here. She is on England duty.
Yep.
And Maitland Brown has now departed. So kind of Surrey's first choice opening attack no longer available. So are we going to see a continuation of Danny Gregory with the new ball? And it looks like we are. So we're going to have some leg spin up top.
Yeah, I like this from Surrey. You know, they do have that depth. They've got the firepower of, you know, your quick bowlers, but then someone like Danny Gregory just opening up with that, just seeing what the pitch might offer early on. I like this as a way to start things off. She's obviously been part of this Surrey side for such a long time, part of the backbone, and that's what Surrey have done so well, I think, because they've been developing their women's team for such a long time. They have had that coming through, and it's really come together as a united unit. I don't think that's
That works for me.
That makes, okay, grammatical sense. So the dictionary of Cam says it's okay, so we'll go with that. Obviously, Bryony Smith, legend of the Surrey game, captaining again, and they're looking to try and make it 2 on the trot. Remember last year, these two played in the T20 County Cup final, and it was Lancs that came out on top. And then Surrey were champions of the Vitality Blast. So, lots of trophies going around.
Lancashire, of course, won the One Day Cup as well.
Oh.
These all the trophies belong to these two teams out in the middle now. Danny Gregory to get us underway here at the Kia Oval. Oh, big leg side, full toss, wide. Not the start of the highest quality that Surrey were after. That's 5 runs and no balls bowled. And very well spotted on the scorecard as well. Darcy Carter is accompanying Eve Jones. So we'll have to wait to see Meg Lanning. I was going to ask Kirstie White to provide her kind of professional opinion on that start, but we might chime in a bit later on.
It's my professional opinion, no, I know.
Although we have to lean on the former players.
We do.
Much better from Gregory.
Yeah, the first, she's just having a little feel of the ground there. Maybe just slipped out of her hand. Nice to say, maybe it's just warm. She's got sweaty palms. Too warm. Oh.
Down the track, Jones, and 4 runs. Beautiful shot. Surrey have their 2 sweepers out in the power play, square of the wicket. So if Jones is able to make that ball a bit fuller, she's able to attack down the ground. 9 runs off 2 legal deliveries for Lancashire. A fantastic start for the visiting team.
Yeah, it's a wonderful bit of footwork, isn't it? Just gets across to it. Just nice little flick of the wrist, straight and hit hard all along the ground. Always going to be safe, and Bryony Smith just has to fetch it beyond the boundary.
Leg side again. Wide ball. Danny Gregory isn't able to get too wide outside off stump. She's bowling to a 4-5 field. So there's 4 fielders on the offside, 5 on the leg side. There's no one behind square on that offside. So she's having to bowl as straight as possible here and just missed her lines on a couple of occasions. Straight again, lifted again, 4 runs again.
Oh, this is quite some start from Eve Jones. She means business from the off. She's switched straight out of one-day action into T20. It's taken just a couple of deliveries. She's already found the boundary twice. This, again, lovely bit of footwork. Had the elevation, 1 bounce, and goes for 4.
We'll see if this prompts a field change. Indeed it does. Cover point, comes up into the ring and long off drops out. Eve Jones will be looking for that cut shot now. And there it is. Sneaks through the offside. There'll be no stopping that. It's a bit of a tease, the race to the boundary, but it's a 3rd boundary off the bat of Eve Jones, and it's a very, very expensive start to life for Surrey.
That's one of those races to the boundary you just hate as a fielder, because in your head you just know you're actually never going to catch up with it, but you can't just stop running. So you're going to have to keep chasing it, and it just accelerated in the end.
18 for no loss off just 4 balls here. Down the track again, and a much needed dot ball. Still 1 to go. Bryony Smith, of course, captain again. Got the armband back on. Now we're back in the T20 format. Down the track, 4 more. 22 runs off a very expensive first over, but a very enjoyable one for the visiting team. Eve Jones batted very slowly here in the one-day fixture 6 days ago, but she's off to a flyer today. She's on 16 already. Lancashire are on 22. We'll bring in Kirstie White. Kirstie, sorry to come to you in these circumstances, but your initial thoughts, please.
And over to forget, I think, for Danny Gregory starting off the campaign. Unusually bowling in the power play, so in her, I'd be interested to look back over her stats, but she doesn't bowl in the power play very often. I don't know if she'll be having a second over. Very assertive start from Eve Jones. Didn't bowl 2 bad lines. They know she's going to bowl straight, so coming down the wicket is a definite positive option for Eve Jones. I would have liked to have seen some seam first up, if I'm being honest. Challenge the outside edge of that bat. More spin here now from Callia Moore.
Well, we do have double spin on show as Callia Moore comes into Darcy Carter and sneaks one past. the edge of the batter. Darcy Carter didn't bat much in last year's Vitality Blast. In fact, only on 3 occasions. So promotion for the Scottish international. Walloped through the offside. What a start this is for Lancashire. I mean, the sun's out. The outfield's beautiful. It's a day that screams runs. And often the way in T20 cricket is teams like to chase. They want to know what they've got what challenge they've got in front of them. I think on this occasion, Lancashire should be very happy to have bat in hand.
Yeah, hell of a start this for the team in red. And it's a very rare dot ball. So Culliamore just finding the right line this time. Darcy Carter just watched Eve Jones go to town in that first over and finally getting her opportunity.
Quicker cuts, and it should just be 1 run. It is indeed, and Moore now gets the matchup against the left-handed Jones. Kira Chatley back behind the stumps. She had a England duty, so it was away for a little bit, but now the T20s have begun. She's back in Surrey colours.
What I've really enjoyed actually with the England duty and off duty is how players have been released to go back and play for county if they're not going to be part of that England's team that's playing. So they're still getting to play rather than just sort of travelling around, carrying drinks. Milling around, yeah, sitting on a bus. Go back and play.
Down the track again, 4 more. It's a pretty simple game plan from Eve Jones at the moment. Run down the track and bop the spinner back over their heads. Kirstie.
Yeah, I feel Surrey's plan of having 2 sweepers wide on either side is just not the right plan for Eve Jones. She's so strong down the ground. They have made the change now. For me, that change should have been from the start.
Well, again, the offside sweeper comes up, so can't get wide. Beautifully bowled from Moore to end the second over. 9 runs off Moore's over, which, believe it or not, is quite a deceleration given the circumstances. Lancashire 31 for no loss after 2 overs. Now we'll wait to see who's going to come on into the attack from the Vauxhall end. And it looks like Alice Monaghan to me.
I think we've got Rhiannon McDonald-Gay.
Oh, we do indeed.
Coming into action. So we are going back to some pace. Great to see her with ball in hand again.
It was great to see McDonald-Gay full stop. It's her first professional match, first team match of the season. Been out injured, got a century for the twos, I'll have you know.
There you go.
But now with ball in hand. 2 sweepers out again, both square of the wicket. Oh, inside edge. Well bowled by McDonald-Gay on her return.
Yeah, good to see she's not lost any pace, has she? Just sort of hurried Carter a little bit, not quite expecting the pace to come from McDonald-Gay. But you'd be pleased as a captain to see that as a change-up. Your pace bowler straight into the attack. Doesn't look rusty at all.
Well, it's tough keeping track of the Surrey squad with all the international players leaving. But it shows the depth that even with the number of players absent, they're able to call upon McDonald-Gay to come back in. Wide, swing and a miss.
And then you think of the likes of someone like Maitland Brown. Obviously, he's been fantastic for Surrey throughout the 50-over stuff. And you would have loved her to still be here to play T20. And someone like that going off again. But it's, you know, you've got a plethora of players to fill those gaps.
Wide again and walloped straight. That is as dismissive a shot as they come. A front foot pull down the ground. And Darcy Carter's ticking.
Yeah, it was Eve Jones who started with all the firepower, but this was sort of baseball shot, wasn't it? Just gave it the full horizontal bat, and for a moment McDonald-Gay stuck her hands up. That was going to hurt if it hit her in the hand.
I think that was quite rude, that shot, actually. It felt quite offensive to kind of flat bat the ball straight back over the bowler's head.
If a shot was a swear word, that was it.
Yes, how lovely. I was about to ask you for some examples. on the live stream. We've got 6.5 hours until the watershed. We'll be fine. Full driven up to mid-off. This has been good by McDonald-Gay. A bit of control re-entering the situation for Surrey. Carter's played a couple of lovely shots. But the nature of the power play is such that you're either probably scoring a boundary or there's a dot ball. And Carter is 9 off 8 as a result. Short, wide. Well dealt with by Kira Chadley. That was a little bit awkward, just bouncing in front of the wicket-keeper.
Yeah, she's had to come a long way to crab across to that one, and then, as you say, just dipping. But one of the best keepers going around at the moment, Kira Chadley.
Well, she just lost her action there, McDonald-Gay. Full through the batter, a muted appeal. I think that's clipped Carter's pads on the way through. It's wrong-footed Chadley. More good work behind the stumps. She would have been headed off in the direction of leg side. And then just the clip sees her flying back to her right. Yep, back pad for me.
Yeah, excellent bit of work again behind the stumps.
Full toss. Dug out by Carter. And a good over for McDonald-Gay in the end. Just 5 runs off it. And an element, just a bit of control, put back into the game by Surrey. 36 for no loss after 3, but still, Kirstie White, absolutely Lancashire's game so far.
Yeah, that would be the start that Surrey would have wanted. 4 dots in the over just to rebuild a little bit of pressure back on the Lancashire batters. Darcy Carter's a familiar face to some of these Surrey girls who's come through the Kent system and was on the South East Stars Academy, so very aware of what she bowls. She's worked very hard on her batting after making a move to Lancashire and featuring a little bit last year, but not known to these Surrey girls as an opening batter, so good challenge here for the Surrey skipper to work out how to get her out.
We have a bubbling crowd here at the Kia Oval. Of course, the first of 2 matches here this afternoon. A steady trickle of fans looking to make the most of the sunny conditions. And now we have Alice Monaghan coming into the attack. She's from the pavilion end. Still the split field. Sweepers out square of the wicket. Angled in to Eve Jones. It's over the top of mid-on, and Bryony Smith isn't able to backpedal in time. They come back for 2. That was a lot of cricket happening very quickly.
It had a bit of everything, didn't it? It was straight into the attack. Monaghan gets taken on straight away, and it would have been heart in the mouth moment as they went up very high, and Bryony Smith backpedaling, thinking perhaps she could get there. One of the trickiest catches as well. So not timed at all. A lot of height, not a lot of distance, but scampering back for a second, and Carter does well, and then the direct hit.
Scythed away. That's a wonderful cut shot. Well fielded out in the deep. Good work from Danny Gregory to keep that to 1. And Alice Monaghan was coming incredibly... Oh, this is Jemima Spence, beg your pardon. Alice Monaghan coming incredibly wide of the crease, looking to angle the ball into the left-handed Jones. But just the 1 run.
Yeah, didn't get to bowl a lot in last year's blast, Alice Monaghan, so nice to see her in the power play here, trusted by Bryony Smith. We saw the spinners get a bit of tap, so she has turned to her 2 pacers.
Sneaks through for a dot ball.
A very rare dot ball. Obviously Lancashire sporting this sort of retro looking kit. What do you make of it?
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah?
I'm enjoying the flashes of green. I'm sure there's a story behind that. We can find it out to understand what it resembles, what it's calling back to. It's like Southampton were wearing their 50th anniversary kit in the FA Cup this year. So they're playing in yellow.
And how did that all turn out?
Oh, full toss. Turned around the corner. Should just be 1.
Have Lancs had anyone with binoculars watching Surrey this week?
I hope so. Doing their due diligence, doing their spying / scouting. I've absolutely loved that story. As someone who's not affiliated with any teams involved, it's been absolutely remarkable.
It's when you love the internet, because the memes that come out of these kind of things. Oh.
We sent producer George up to Lancashire to spy on their stream a couple of days ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. How do they do it? Jones on strike. Been an eventful innings so far, and it continues to be. What incredible power Jones is playing with today. Everything's straight. It's been a shot a ball. She's on 27 off 11 deliveries. And it's such a different style of innings from the one she played just 6 days ago here. And it continues to be. She's clearing her front leg, and getting a bit ugly with it, muscling the ball down the ground. Alice Monaghan did her best to try and catch that ball. I think it was best for her own safety that she didn't. 4 more.
Yeah, it's a real innings of authority, this, up the top from Eve Jones.
And again, this time through the offside. It's see ball, hit ball from Jones, and she's got her team off to an absolute flyer here. 12 more runs come from the 4th over of the innings. 12 runs off Monaghan's first, and it's 48 for no loss. Kirstie, how do we stop her?
Well, with the exception of that last delivery, I think we've been playing into Eve Jones's hands here with just bowling into the arc, really. She's so strong down the ground and through the V, and that's exactly where Surrey have been landing the majority of their deliveries. So they just need to hold their length a little bit. Another change in bowling. More seam, but I think they just need to target Eve Jones's hip for me.
Well, we're going to have Scottish international to Scottish international here, as Priyanaz Chatterjee comes into the attack. Bit of pace off, medium pace as it were, so this might work in Surrey's favour, where they're going to have to force Lancashire's batter to put a bit more muscle into the ball. Can't just use the pace that's on offer. Good start from Chatterjee. Well played and well fielded at cover.
I like the Scot to Scot going on out in the middle. Obviously, we'll see them as part of that T20 World Cup in just a few weeks now. England, Ireland and Scotland all in action. I think Scotland's opening match is against Ireland, up north somewhere, if my brain serves me right.
Going to be really honest, I can't tell.
I'm going to say it with authority. I'm going to say it with authority. I'm pretty sure their opening game is against Ireland.
Right, I'm looking forward to this contest. Chatterjee with a little bit of pace off against Eve Jones, who is ticking. Long off is out, so too is cover points. So you're expecting Chatterjee to potentially just hold her line outside of off stump. No one is on the boundary on the leg side. So we see Jones shuffle across. Well, she goes for it. Well fielded at mid-wicket. So it's just 1 run.
Yeah, Paige Schofield did well to get down to that one. Just got a hand to it. Had enough pace on it, but cleaned up in the end by Bryony Smith. Just slowing things down. This is what we need from Chatterjee. Just the 2 runs so far, the 2 singles, bringing up the 50 for Lancs, coming up just over 4 overs. An absolute, what you call, rollicking start for the away side here on double-header day at the Oval in absolutely glorious South London sunshine.
Wide cut, just over the diving fielder at backward point. There was a moment there where there might have been a chance, and then it was gone.
Yeah, I mean, it's just everything she touches, turns to gold out in the middle at the moment. Just a little bit too wide, finds the top edge, enough height on it, using the pace, and off again to the boundary.
Wide cut, just. Wide again. She gets away with that one. Chatterjee's field, she has long on and deep mid-wicket in play, so her job is almost to bowl the spinner's line, stump to stump, try and get hit into the leg side for 1. So a fortunate dot ball on that occasion.
Yeah, she's just missing that a little bit at the moment, bowling far too wide outside that off stump, and Carter will feel disappointed she missed out.
Wide again. And despite Schofield's dive, that is 4 more. Well, sorry, just need to be a little bit careful here, because whilst it has been a lightning start by the Lancashire Lightning, we're now at the territory where the game could be slipping away before you've really even started. The run rate's 12. Well, the away team, they're flying.
Yeah, dominating the power play here, Lancashire, which is exactly what you want to come out and do. Haven't lost a wicket, so the opening partnership has really set a foundation for this innings.
Better line from Chatterjee. Bunted down the ground for a single. So that brings to a close the 5th over. The score's 59 for no loss. And Carter just getting into her work as well.
Yeah, so still 1 over of power play to come here. Having to mix around the bowlers. It looks like we're going to have Rihanna McDonald-Gay in action again, just having discussion with Bryony Smith, and that is how I would want to spend my Friday afternoon from school. Just sack off sitting in a classroom. You can work from the oval, we all know that. Everyone's been doing it all, inverted commas, summer so far. Don't even bring your laptop, just that's the way to do school, if you ask me.
There's something in there about Eve Jones putting on a clinic anyway, or teaching people a lesson.
Yeah, we'll go with that, yeah. McDonald-Gay starts her second. And goes through. Good pace. Has a big swing at this one as Darcy Carter looks disappointed. But Rihanna McDonald-Gay, just the 5 runs coming from her first over back into professional cricket this summer.
Good wheels from McDonald-Gay. Getting the ball nice and full. Potentially beating Carter for pace.
This time again, just targeting those stumps. It is nice to see McDonald-Gay back in action. Obviously, she's been part of that England side, and then the injuries, and it must just be so frustrating, especially when there's so much talent now coming through. So you almost feel, oh, I'm injured, I'm out. Now this person's coming in, and they're going to replace me, and then I've got to go through all this rehab, come back into action. But she's been right on the button so far today. Go short. Little too short, wide signalled. But I don't mind this. Bit of aggression.
Well, she has protection out on the leg side. Deep square leg is in play. Surrey have kind of stuck with this strategy, this field, pretty much throughout. Chatterjee did have a slight change of field where she had long on and deep mid wicket in play. For the most part, Surrey have just had one sweeper out on either side.
Oh, she got a finger to that. She's done so well in the follow through, and then the cricket awareness. Doesn't matter how long you're out injured, she's still got that awareness to try and get the run out. Good cricket.
Well, it's been a busy over from McDonald-Gay.
And the only run coming from it so far is the wide. And you wouldn't mind that kind of wide, going for the short ball. So this is exactly what they needed to try and close out the power play. Force a bit of pressure, see if they can bring about one of these batters to try something different. Again, good pace. And scampering through. Direct hit, would have been trouble. Bryony Smith patrolling out there.
Well, these two balls feel important in the context of the game. Jones has been starved of the strike in the last 10 balls or so. You see there, Darcy Carter maybe would have just made it home. There's 2 balls left of the power play. Jones is on fire, 32 of 13. Will she look to target these final 2 deliveries before Surrey can spread the field a little bit more?
Uses the feet this time, can't get it through. Really good stuff this from McDonald-Gay, just finding that slightly fuller length and not timed by Jones. She's 32 from 14 now. That run rate's still up around 10.5. So 1 ball to come in the power play. 61 on the board already for Lancashire. And how they'd love to break this partnership. Although when you break this partnership, there's a certain Meg Lanning waiting in the wings.
You almost don't want to get the wicket.
I sometimes do think things like that, yeah.
Just keep playing, keep bowling.
Yeah, really good work. Slower ball from McDonald's Gay to close out the over. Just the 2 runs coming from it, the wide and a single. That closes out the power play. 6 overs gone. Lancashire definitely winning the power play. 61 without loss. Hell of a power play this for Lancs, wasn't it, Kirstie?
Yeah, really solid. Wouldn't want to start a power play any better. Wicket is not showing anything other than it being completely flat. Eve Jones has recognised that really quickly and dominated the Surrey bowlers so far. Slight claw back towards the end with Rhiannon McDonald-Gay delivering some dots at the end of that last over. Lots of work to do for Surrey from here. Lancashire are cruising.
So Kalia Moore went for the 9 runs from her first over, so relatively quiet in comparison. And it's swept away. There is a fielder out in protection in the deep. Obviously we're out of the power play now, so the fielding restrictions are removed. And bowling to her field. The field all moves around for the left-hand, right-hand combination.
I'm doing my best just to do a bit of statistical research and see what some of the scores were here last year in the Blast, because yes, it's a fantastic wicket and ripe for run scoring, but if Lancashire can get anywhere up towards 200, it's going to be a mighty tough chase.
This one just driven down the ground. So slowing things down slightly. That last over of the power play just starting to force a bit of pressure on these two who won't be really feeling it at all. They've absolutely dominated so far. They came out first over, bang from the off. An aerial on the leg side this time again. That protection out in the deep. Thinking about a second and absolutely no communication between the two in the middle.
Here we go. Crickinvo's been my friend. I'll be with you with some fantastic statistical analysis in about 45
I will
seconds.
wait with bated breath. As Moore again round the wicket. Use of the feet. Nutmeg's a batting partner. And so just dealing in singles. Tight bowling this from Kalia Moore. Bowling to her field. She's doing well to adjust for this left-hand, right-hand combination as well. Aerial, this could be a chance. Could be the first wicket. Paige Schofield coming in. And if anyone was going to get there, it would have been Paige Schofield. Falls short. But that is the building of pressure. Just trying to force something.
Well, I wonder if she'll be slightly disappointed. Or if she lost it in the sun, because when we see the ball actually dropping, it's not too far away from her feet when it eventually she arrives at the scene. Horrible catch to have to try and take.
Full toss doesn't take advantage, so a bunch of singles coming from the over. 6 from it, 7 overs gone, 67 without loss, Lancashire. Now, was that a sign that finally there was a bit of pressure being put on these two, Kirstie?
Yeah, I think potentially. I was actually just doing a little bit of maths, and you'll have to forgive me because mine is terrible, but if Lancashire go at 6 and over from this point inwards, they will reach 142. So based on how they've accumulated, they will definitely want to obviously score at a higher rate than that. I think this wicket has got a minimum of 180 to 200 runs in it. It's flat, there's no swing, minimal turn, so it's a batter's game. And as is the game, whoever scores the most runs wins.
Correct. I agree with that one.
Simple game, and the fans still rolling in, enjoying an afternoon in the sun. So Chatterjee going to start her second over, 11 off her first. Just giving that a bit of extra flight this time, dropping at the feet of Jones, who adds another to her total.
Well, the last couple of overs, Surrey have just seized back a bit of initiative in the match. You see that run rate is now at 9.5. It was up at 12 after the first 3 or 4 overs. But as Kirstie said, because of how good Lancashire's start has been, they can kind of trot along now without taking too many risks, and they'll reach a sizable score.
Big swing this time. Gonna land short again. And that fielder out at sort of wide, long off. And they've got batting to come as well in this side. Obviously, these two have started it off power hitting, but Meg Lanning, Seren Smale, Ellie Threlkeld, Fee Morris, Elsa Lister, she can give it a whack as well. Another Scot playing today. This time full from Chatterjee. Jones just taking a little back step into her crease there, trying to give herself that little bit of extra time, extra room.
Oh, we must be approaching some sort of record. We've had 9 singles in a row. Hypercourse, if you are listening, if that's in your wheelhouse at all. The most consecutive singles in a cricket match.
Singles night here at the Oval. Goes for the big heave. Again, not timed by Carter. She finds that bottom edge. It's another one for you, Cam.
10. I also had a look. 200 was scored on 2 occasions here in the women's blast last year, and it was more than enough for victory on both occasions. So if Lancashire can get themselves up above 180, in a very, very strong position indeed.
Aerial. Fielder coming in off the boundary. Oh, and she's put it down. Tried her very best coming in there. Was it Paige Schofield? Yeah. Couple of opportunities being offered up now, though, and that's the build of the pressure. In the end, just the 2 runs, and she's safe.
It's another steepling catch on offer for Paige Schofield. This one, I'm not quite sure whether she made her ground, whether she reached the ball. But something's brewing here for Surrey.
They'll just add another 1 to the tally. 8 overs gone, 74 for none, Lancashire. Eve Jones into the 40s. She's 40 from 22. Darcy Carter going at a runner ball 26 at the other end. Where do you turn at this point, Kirstie, if you're Bryony Smith?
Yeah, it's a really challenging decision to make as a captain here. I think dots and ones, although there haven't been many dots in the last 2 overs, ones are going to be really important here. Bowling tight, bowling at the stumps, it's going to be absolutely crucial. I think the Lancashire bowling coach will be taking a million notes right now and advising skipper on how to open their innings with the ball.
Give us a wave. You're missing school. Maybe they're older than school age, I'm not sure anymore. I'm old. Right, Danny Gregory back into the attack. She took some tap in the first over, 22 runs coming from it. This time, aerial again lands safe. And they'll scamper back from a second, taking on Paige Schofield. Good running. If you're not finding the boundaries, push that first one hard, pressure on the fielder. Bit of a wayward throw. And 2 more to the tally. That's massive. First 6 of the blast here at the Oval 2026. And these two are absolutely flying. Eve Jones seeing it like a beach ball and just takes on Danny Gregory, who is taking tap today.
Well, this is a remarkable innings from Jones. Her strike rate across the previous year and in the 100 sits around about 100 or 105. Here she's ticking along at more than 200.
Just tucked up this time by Gregory. Should just be a single. So Jones will move on to 49. Highest score in the blast last season, 46. So she's already surpassed that on day 1. That's one way to start your campaign, isn't it?
What a way to start the year.
What a way.
Pleasant.
Sun shining, runs flowing. Happy days. Unless you're bowling. Swept away. There is protection out in the deep, so it will bring Jones back on strike. She's 49 from 25. That run rate just a little over 9.5 still. And Danny Gregory has been taken for 32 already from just 10 legitimate deliveries. Eve Jones on 49. And that'll be 50 for Eve Jones, her first outing in red this summer. T20 Blast season is upon us, and Eve Jones is out of the traps and flying.
Well, she's batted with such a clear plan throughout. She approached the power play where Surrey had mid-on and mid-off up in the ring pretty much throughout. She used her feet a lot and basically took the attack to Surrey, tried to make every delivery as full as possible and to wallop the ball back down the ground. She's been working very well for her. 50 off 26 balls.
Got herself in all sorts of a tangle. And finally a dot ball from Danny Gregory. Another expensive over though. 9 overs gone, 85 for none. Eve Jones is striking at over 190 as well. And what a way to start. It's hot out in the middle, but the runs are even hotter.
Well, I can tell you that's the first dot ball in 3 overs. On the other hand, there's only been 1 boundary in that period of time. So it's been a period of rotation, strike management.
I think this bowling lineup's going to be a serious element of concern here for Surrey in games moving forward. Priyanaz Chatterjee goes off on international duty very shortly, and let's not forget that England A will also be pulling players away for fixtures at some point. So there's all to play for the first few rounds of these T20 Blast games to get points on the board.
They do fall victim to their own success, don't they, this Surrey side? You've got too many players getting called up. You feel like turning around, just dragging them back, saying, no, you can't have her. Leave us some, please. As Alice Monaghan starts her second, 12 off her first over. Just inside that line. Jones looking to give herself room and carve it away.
The overlapping Lions tour at the same time as the World Cup really is going to stretch the domestic game. I still can't quite get my head around how at such a period of fixture congestion.
Ariel again reaches for it, will land safe, but just trying to push that wide line, trying to force to go up and over on that offside.
Well, I wonder if Lancashire will be content with the role Carter's playing here, because given how fast they got out of the blocks, being a runner ball was pretty much okay, no problem. But with Meg Lanning waiting in the wings now and all 10 wickets to play with in, 10.4 overs, they'll just be wanting their opening batter to go through the gears here.
Oh, that was a hell of an effort from Monaghan in her follow-through. Stuck out that right mitt. Hit hard by Carter, who is just trying to get something on it, but she can't really get motoring in the same way her opening partner has at the other end. It almost becomes that sort of hit out or get out kind of situation when you have got the likes of Lanning coming in after this. Look to give herself room, stepping across that leg side, followed, but too wide this time from Monaghan.
Very clear plan from Surrey here. Well, actually, change of course. Because that was a wide ball, it was 1 for the over. Fine leg has come up, back into the ring. Long on has dropped out, so Monaghan will be able to bowl a bit fuller now. Beforehand, long on was up, fine leg was back. Now peppering Jones with the short ball.
Again, just bowling that wide length. Carter's very quick to scamper through. So not finding the boundaries at the moment, but still keeping that run rate ticking over. But now down to 9.21 over. We're up in 12s not that long ago. So at this point, you feel it's sort of that tipping point. Something's got to give. Monaghan causing really good pressure coming in from the pavilion end. And again, Carter just doesn't time it.
I think to potentially contradict myself from earlier in the over, I don't think Lancashire will mind too much. You've kind of got a red carpet through to a sizable score here. There's only so much Surrey can do to protect kind of singles, as it were. You're not going to bring everyone in to try and squeeze further.
Up and over. Beautiful looking stroke. Eve Jones is having a day out here in the sun in South London. She picks up 4 more, and it's a blemish on the back end of a Monaghan over. 10 overs gone halfway through here, 94 for none.
I think there are 2 things to look at really here from a Surrey perspective. Getting stuck into these batters, their run rate has dropped. Obviously the last ball of that over has not helped Surrey's case. However, they've started to significantly drop run rate, and Surrey need to make Lancashire aware. But Lancashire also need to be aware that the number of ones and dots they accumulate now limits how many balls Meg Lanning gets to face. So there's 60 deliveries left in this bowling innings, and Meg Lanning needs to face a good bulk of those if Darcy Carter is going to continue to strike at less than 100.
Right, so the game plan is stop Meg Lanning from batting. She's not in yet, but we can still make that work. Right, Chatterjee from the Vauxhall end. Short. And that's a real loose delivery. Brilliantly fielded in the deep. That is fantastic from Alice Monaghan, because that was travelling at a rate of knots. She's up, got one of the best arms in the team as well. A really, really phenomenal piece of fielding.
Yeah, that's what they need. A little bit of inspiration, and the fielders still putting in 100% effort out in the field, trying to cut off every run here.
Short and wide. So not the best start from Chatterjee, but just the 1 run scored brings Eve Jones back onto strike. We'll see how the field changes at all between the left and right hander. You expect you're going to see kind of that spinner's field where the boundary riders are in front of squares. We have long on and long off in place, deep mid wicket as well. Cover points out in case anything drops a bit short and wide. Uses the angle. Is the fielder in the deep in play? Yes. Surrey use the angles very well. Jemima Spence in the deep takes a very comfortable catch, makes it look very comfortable, more to the point. It's a big pocket of the ground up there. It's a big boundary, a big hit to score 6 in that direction. Surrey's plan works. 97 for 1, and Surrey finally are on the board.
And it's the big wicket. It's the one they wanted rid of. Eve Jones, 56 from 31. A hell of a knock up the top of the innings there from the opener. She looked to go big again. That pressure had just been building and coming in off the boundary. Excellent bit of work from Spence. The partnership broken, but what a foundation set there by Eve Jones, opening up her account with a half century. Had a beautiful strike rate as well, and it does bring the former Australian captain, multiple world champion Meg Lanning out to the middle for the first time in red this summer with Lancashire.
Well, a very exciting moment here at the Kia Oval. An incredible signing both for the competition and the visiting team. I've always enjoyed, if you have a look at Meg Lanning's Wikipedia page and just the lists and the bullet points and the amount you have to scroll to go through all the World Cup victories. She's had a remarkable career.
I'm not one to fangirl very often, but she is one of those people that you just think, oh, you know, aura. She's got the aura. She could very easily, if she wanted to, still play international cricket, I think.
Well, here she is. First delivery from Chatterjee. And she's off the mark with a 4. Bit streaky, bit of an outside edge, but a bit of width was on offer. And as Kirstie White said, when Meg Lanning arrived at the crease, there's just under 60 balls to go. She wants to face as many of them as possible. And that 4 brings up the Lancashire 100 as well. 101 for 1 here at the Oval.
Probably not the prettiest runs Meg Lanning has ever scored throughout her career. And a little bit of a wry smile there from Chatterjee as well. but scratchy runs is still runs.
Short again, pulled into the leg side. Carter will think about getting back for 2. Calls through Meg Lanning and makes it home. Pretty comfortable, well run by the Scottish international.
I mean, almost a collision in the middle somewhere, but they were running fast enough to get around each other and still get home. Just pulled away this one by Lanning. They run the first one hard. She goes very wide. Carter goes even wider. They've definitely each run far more than 22 yards.
Well bowled by Chatterjee. Bit of swing on offer for the seamer. Should just be a leg by. Indeed it is. At the end of the 11th over, it's 104 for 1. Kirstie, how does Surrey go about solving the puzzle that is Meg Lanning?
I think they'll want to bowl as many deliveries at Darcy Carter as they possibly can as they bring Rhiannon McDonald-Gay back into the attack. She's run really well between the wickets here. Her role is certainly the supporting actress for Lancashire today. She's striking at 100, which is solid striking. But yeah, her role here is going to be to get Meg Lanning on strike. And Surrey, quite the opposite.
Well, it's the start of a long stint. What have you spotted there, Georgie?
I don't know, but whatever he's eating, it looks good. Spotted in the crowd. Always good food options here at the Oval as well.
Now bring your picnic down. Or don't.
Or
Buy
don't.
something from the concourse. McDonald-Gay into the attack. Great figures so far. 0 for 7 off 2. That's a beautiful cricket shot from Meg Lanning. Just caresses the ball out to Jemima Spence. Out in the deep. Clear more. That's 3 for me today. So Carter back on strike. Just bunted down the ground. McDonald-Gay bowling brilliantly well for her team. On her return to professional cricket, being out injured for a lengthy period of time.
Yeah, it's good signs this for McDonald-Gay on day one. Obviously, she'll be frothing to try and get back into that England side at some point.
Again, more runs behind square. Lanning thinks about 2. Moore does well in the deep. Keeps it to 1.
Keen, wasn't she, to come back for a second. She's very quick between the wickets, Meg Lanning. Always has been. Just rehearsing that shot. Loves it on that offside. But tidy this from McDonald-Gay. Just the 3 singles. Of all the bowlers so far, she's been super economical in comparison. Just the 10 runs from her 2.5 overs.
It's launched out in front of square. Couple of bounces, brilliantly fielded again in the deep. More good work from Surrey. Moore has been busy this over, and a really interesting, slight subtle field change for Surrey when it's Carter on strike versus Meg Lanning. When it's Meg Lanning, Moore was out in the deep, backward of square, and was often in the game then. And as soon as Carter came back on strike, she came in front of square. It was the right change. It prevented 2 extra runs being scored. Oh my goodness me, how's that missed?
Yeah, good pace. Carter just leans on her back. Can't believe it. She's almost thinking, how have I survived here? Because good pace, keeping low from McDonald-Gay again. And I have no idea how that's missed. In slow-mo, at normal pace.
Almost looks like it went through off stump. And another field change. So Moore has now moved all the way around to deep extra cover. Really wide from McDonald-Gay. Takes the single to mid-off. Direct hit, out. Well fielded, Bryony Smith. Took aim, had 2.5 stumps to aim at. Loaded, fired. And Darcy Carter has to go.
Yeah, that's an excellent bit of work from Bryony Smith. We saw a direct hit from her earlier. The batter was already home. She had an opportunity again later. Didn't get it. This time she did well. She knew she had time to gather the ball and really take aim rather than pick up and do it all in one. But Darcy Carter just carried on running. She knew she was gone. She didn't even wait. Just sort of decelerated and headed off to the dugout. Wasn't timed at all. Smith coming in, takes aim, bang. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
It was a bit hit and run from Carter. She nudged the ball up towards mid-off and decided she wanted a single. You can't blame her too much. T20 cricket, trying to take every run you can. On this occasion, she has to go. Bringing Seren Smale to the crease. 21 years old, Seren Smale. Feels like she's been around for a while now.
Yeah, I saw her as part of that England Under-19 World Cup over in South Africa, the first World Cup when England made that final, losing to India there. It does feel like she's been around a while. She then went over and played for the England seniors over in Ireland a couple of Septembers ago now. So yeah, been around and about. Consistent performer for Lancs.
Danny Gregory back into the attack. Short and just worked into the leg side by Smale. I'll think about two. Ultimately decide against it.
11 matches last year, 165 runs across those, a high score of 42 for Seren Smale.
Tweak to the field of Lanning on strike. Long off in place rather than long on. So an option to go down the ground straight is available to the Australian. That's down the leg side, and it will just be one run, but Gregory will feel like she's got away with that one. Just lost her line. Lanning ticking a little bit that she only managed to get one run.
Yeah, you can see shaking her head, frustrated. It was there to be hit. Didn't get it any finer. It was heading for 4. Brings up Nelson for Lancashire, 111 for 2. Get a foot off the floor.
Beautifully batted by Smale. Elegant, in control, skips down the track. Nudges just one run, gets Lanning back on strike. Scythed again through the offside. It's a big boundary out in that direction. Meg Lanning's got to get her skates on here. She makes it home.
Risky. She trusts herself though, doesn't she? I said she was quick between the wickets. She took that first one rapidly, and then Smale was sort of surprised that Lanning was coming back again, but it was Lanning running to the danger end. Does well in the end.
It's such a big boundary out in that direction, square of the wicket. I think Lanning basically stared down the fielder and went, you know what, I reckon I can win this. I know the ball's in your hand. I'm going to set off now. Good start from Lanning, 11 off 7. Another single. Pretty gentle stuff in the middle overs here. As Lancashire content just to tick the score over and steadily grow that total. Smale uses her feet again. One more run. So 7 runs off the 13th over, 116 for 2. But more importantly for Danny Gregory, a good over from her. Just 7 runs conceded. She's had a tough day here at the Kia Oval so far. 40 runs conceded, but continuation of a good few overs for Surrey. How will they be feeling at this stage of the game, Kirstie White?
Yeah, I think they're going to be feeling a little bit more in control of this run rate, and they'll be wanting to continue to do so. The wicket from Lancashire's fallen from a really good bout of pressure, particularly for these boundary sweepers who are patrolling so well, restricting to 1s and occasionally 2s. Surrey will pride themselves on being one of the best, if not the best, fielding team in the country, and they're certainly showing that today.
Still the fans rolling in. Double-header day here at the Kia Oval on the opening day of the Blast.
Monaghan back into the attack. It just drops into the leg side. They can think about two. That would have been remarkable too had they managed to scamper back. Wait for the umpire signal. Yep, leg byes given.
4 fielders converging, and still they're thinking about coming for a second.
It was just in that little pocket. You had Kira Chatley sprinting after it. Danny Gregory, short fine leg in pursuit as well. We just wait for the 4th fielder to drop out here. It's going to be long off. That fielder at deep backward point in position as well. They've clearly done their research to Meg Lanning. And in fact, another tweak of the field. So mid-off has come back into the ring. You can see on your screen there Bryony Smith wandering back up. And we have deep extra cover in place. So an unusual field sets here. Lanning just knocks the ball on the head and takes one.
Yeah, well bowled again by Monaghan, just trying to keep it tight. Lanning, who's rehearsing that shot at the far end. Obviously over for the summer now as well, part of the blast.
Manchester Supergiants.
Captaining at MSG.
Full. Well, 2 and 2. Surrey have been exceptional in the field, and a second direct hit run out. Smell knocked the ball to Schofield, who was on the ring, took aim, 1 stump to aim at. She fired and she hit, and Lancashire, well, they're 3 down now.
Excellent bit of work this from Paige Schofield. Just the 1 stump to aim at. She was quick in the pickup. Smale sprinting through, desperate to keep that score ticking over. But second run out now, and Surrey, they're one of those sides that they might look down, but they never feel out because they can always create opportunities, and this is just testament to the work done over the winter. Throwing at that single stump, how boring that can be, but then it produces bits of magic like that.
That's exactly what Kirstie White said, that Surrey pride themselves on being one of, if not the best fielding team in the country. And it's not just the direct hit run-outs there. Despite having had 2 of them, we've also seen phenomenal stops on the boundary from both Kalia Moore and Alice Monaghan. And there, that is 1 stump to aim at. Alice Monaghan's been taken out by almost everyone there. The ball, the stump, the bail, the batter. But Smell, when she set off there, she'd have been pretty confident. She'd have been safe. Right. Meg Lanning on strike. The skipper, they throw held at the non-striker's end. They're still in a pretty comfortable and confident position, strong position even here at Lancashire, because you can go at a runner ball until the end and you're still getting to the best part of 160, which is not to be sniffed at. They will be desperate to try and get up towards 180 and beyond, however. They take a 3rd single, and this time they do get home comfortably. First time seen Laura Harris in action in the field today. A quiet outing so far. Ball's not been finding her. Very, very excited to watch her back later.
Yeah, but she might be quiet in the field. I can't imagine it's ever very quiet when she's got the bat in hand.
Well, 2 and 2. Surrey have been exceptional in the field, and a second direct hit run big full toss, and that's a wide. Knocked the ball to Schofield, who was on the ring.
Very tidy over up until that point from Monaghan.
Well, they're 3 down now.
Excellent bit of work this from Paige Schofield. Just the
Well, we haven't had a boundary since Meg Lanning's first delivery. Surrey have been doing really well here in the last 8 or so overs. As soon as the power play has ended, it's been their game. Well, bold. Well, we're going to have 3 out of 3. No, well, Monaghan denies us the opportunity to see if it was a direct hit, but Lanning made it home safely. 14 overs gone here at the Kia Oval. Lancashire 121 for 3.
I think it just shows how important it is to really try and take on that power play. Lancs own the power play, and since then, Surrey have really brought themselves back into that game, but because of the start they got themselves off to, Lancs haven't had to worry further down the order because they're at 121 already and still got another 6 overs to play with. Danny
Gregory is going to bowl out. Got the first over of this match and conceded more than 20 runs. It was a very panicked start for Surrey. Just 7 runs came off the leg spinner's previous over. Threlkeld on strike. Full, driven firmly up towards mid-off. Good bit of work by Alice Davidson-Richards. Filled in as captain. Must have been a week or so ago. I had the conclusion I'd love to play in a team captained by ADR. It was a very cheerful group of 11 players who waltzed out to the middle. Goes for the sweep again. They go for the single. That's going to be tight. Throw from fine leg is a bit wild. It's not the first time that Gregory's just drifted down the leg side. But so far she's got away with it. Full again, driven firmly. That's a good cricket shot.
Finally, they find the boundary again. Ellie Threlkeld just tonks this one straight back past Danny Gregory, who has taken a lot of tap today and hasn't really slowed down. It's a good early trigger movement, and off she goes. She knew almost immediately as that came off the bat, had enough on it, and was going to race.
Prompts a field change. Cover point comes into the ring. Long off goes out. So Gregory will be looking to stay very straight. Well, that's short. Square leg. Briefly felt in the game. And just one bounce. I think Surrey would shake hands on that being just the one run. Bit of a loosener from Gregory.
That run rate back down below 9 now.
Well bowled from Gregory. Just tempting and teasing, dropping the ball into middle and leg, and Lanning playing across the line. Just the one run. Threlkeld drops the ball into the leg side again. One run is again the result after 15 overs. It's 130 for 3. If you take out that first over of the match, it's been a pretty steady, potentially even Surrey favourable innings. Kirstie, at this stage of the game, which changing room would you rather be in?
I think I'd still back Surrey from this position in. I think what we've seen from them so far this year is a team that can dig themselves out of some really tricky and challenging situations. One thing I have noticed today, and perhaps this is just adjusting to that change in captaincy from the 50 over to the T20s, is a bit more of a reactive approach rather than a proactive approach to setting fields and recognising where those changes need to be made. I think that's something that needs to be picked up and addressed very quickly moving into the next few fixtures.
Here comes Kalia Moore. Starts her third over, just full. Worked off the pads by Threlkeld. Lanning again, running that first one hard. And absolutely no chance of coming back for a second. Moore's been tidy. 16 runs off, 15 off her first 2 overs. Now 16 following that single. Extra flight this time, again just dropping at the toes of Lanning. And Bryony Smith, bit of football. Aerial this time. It's going to go all the way. Beautifully picked up. Meg Lanning finally finds herself a maximum.
Well, how on earth has she got the power on this for this to go to 6? The hand speed and the wrists from Lanning to whip that ball over deep backward square leg. I'd say Jemima Spence briefly looked in the game, but I don't think she ever did. That ball kept sailing. It's 6 runs to Lancashire, and a first 6 for Lancashire for Meg Lanning.
Tighter on the pads this time from Moore. And happy to just settle for that single. So Lanning ticking along nicely now, 23 from 16. Use of the feet from Threlkeld. Again, just pushes it away for a single, stacked up inside the offside ring for Threlkeld.
Oh my goodness.
Vintage Meg Lanning just watches it soar over extra cover, couple of bounces and goes for 4. What a way to end a fairly expensive over again. 16 gone, 143 for 3.
Well, we have seen 2 incredible cricket shots that over from Meg Lanning, and I would love to see the pitch match to see how different each ball was to one another. The first one, we've seen her wrist kind of smack the ball, catch up with the ball to nail it over behind square leg for 6, and on the latter occasion lifting the ball up over extra cover for 4 runs. 2 examples of pure quality from Meg Lanning.
I think you could say she's still got it.
I'd agree. Manchester Supergiants and Lancashire, well, they knew what they've been doing for this summer.
Threlkeld on strike now for Chatterjee's final over. 1 for her, 1 for 27 from her 3. On the pads, turn around the corner. They're going to run this first one hard, thinking about a second. And got to get your skates on here. Big dive. And she does well.
Well, she had to put the afterburners on here, Threlkeld, because it did look in danger. She did look in danger for a little period of time. I'd have been tempted to leave Meg Lanning on strike, personally.
I think Lanning perhaps thought the same as well. It wasn't the quickest turn from her, but knew she was setting off to the non-danger end. This time, cut away. Threlkeld really gets her head down, doesn't she? Like a sprinter coming out of the blocks just before they lift their head up.
We're seeing here Bryony Smith just directing some traffic with Lanning back on strike, and we have that more unusual field where the sweeper on the offside is that kind of a deep cover, deep extra cover. Chatterjee a bit less pace on the ball, more likely to be cut in front of square.
On the pads, skewed up in the air. For a moment would have been heart in mouth, but in the end it's just another boundary for the former Australian captain.
Chatterjee just gets the ball to kind of curve away from the right-hander. It's a natural shape she gets on the ball. And Lanning's kind of followed that arc and lifted the ball up over mid-off. We're seeing the best of Meg Lanning now. Took her a few balls to get going, and now she's ticking 31 off 18.
Again, 3 out in the deep on the leg side, and then a deep extra cover to Lanning. Pushed out wide, through the gap, 4 more, easy as you like, easy pickings for someone of her class. Just 2 wide from Chatterjee.
That was the don't miss area for Chatterjee. 3 fielders in the ring behind square.
Moves across and backward of square. Going to be 4 more to Meg Lanning. She moved early and was just straying down that leg side from Chatterjee. And it's a hat-trick of 4s.
Change of angle by Chatterjee, but the same result. So we'll just flicked behind. Square on the leg side.
Yeah, just panning around the boundary, I wanted to highlight just quite where these boundary riders are standing. Very, very short boundaries. They are long wide, but boundary riders are sitting a good 10 metres in. Meg Lanning is a powerful, powerful batter, and she can clear these ropes. These boundary riders need to be sat on it. There's no need for these boundary riders to be sitting anywhere near 5 or 10 yards off that rope. This could be costly for Surrey in terms of maximum scores here.
Yeah, and smart cricket here from Meg Lanning. She hit those 3 fours in a row, takes a single off the final ball of the 17th over. So 159 for 3, and Lanning brings up her 40 from just 21 deliveries. So that run rate now back up over 9. Throw curled at the other end, just keeping Lanning company at the moment. She's 13 from 9 as Monaghan comes back into the attack to complete her overs for the day. Gone for 25 from her first 3, and she's in again now to the former Australian captain, who swings, and it's taken. Excellent bit of work, diving forward, right at her feet.
Well, is Meg Lanning going to go here? Spence has gestured that she isn't 100% sure. It reached her millimetres off the turf. The umpires are conferring quickly. It was a great catch regardless of whether it carried or not. I know that sounds slightly counterintuitive. Now Meg Lanning's turned around. Is she waiting? She's just lingering to find out, wait and find out what's happening. Because I think this might have just reached Spence on the full, or she's plucked it off the turf.
Now it looks like she's under that one. It was the celebration and then the grimace. She needs a better poker face, because that's what's caused the confusion, I think.
I think I might be sat on the other side of the fence to Kirstie here. I'm not sure that's reached her on the full. I also don't think I think it's very, very hard to know as the fielder. And they're happy, and Meg Lanning has gone. It's an excellent, brilliant piece of work in the deep from Spence. Really, really high quality. And our opinions don't really matter in the end because it's out.
Swings, and it's taken. Excellent bit of work, diving forward.
Brilliant work in the deep. And that fielder just perfectly placed 10 yards in from the boundary, as Kirstie White had been highlighting merely moments beforehand.
So finally they get rid of Meg Lanning, but damage done by the Australian. 159 for 4 now brings the Scottish international Ailsa Lister out to the middle. Comes to join her captain. Swings hard. And just enough, parried over the boundary in the end. So Lister opens her account with 4.
Well, another first ball boundary for a Lancashire player. Not that much width on offer from Monaghan there, but Lister just gives herself a bit of space and slashes the ball through the offside.
So Ailsa Lister off the mark with a boundary.
Oh my.
That's just slipped out. Going to have to go back and do that one again. One she won't want to watch in the highlights package later on.
Yeah, wide ball from Monaghan, but she'll load up again. Is there a third Scottish international on show? They're everywhere at the Kia Oval today.
I hear there's haggis on offer somewhere. Swings hard across the line, just to be a single. So 165, Lancashire. 2.5 overs still to play with. What are they targeting at this point, do you think, Cam?
Gets 190. That'll be going at 10s, exactly 10s if they can do that. Just have a bit of a change of field. Fine legs dropping out and Jemima Spence comes up into the ring from square leg.
Moves across very early. Monaghan saw her coming, tried to push it wide, and just a little too much. And cat and mouse here between Threlkeld and Monaghan. Bats in the long sleeves as well, even on a day like today. Swing and a miss from Threlkeld. So a mixed bag of an over, this one from Monaghan. 2 still to come. Fine leg out on the rope, square leg up inside the ring. Up and over. Has she got the distance? No, easily pouched. I'll be very pleased with that. Threlkeld looking to just try and inject some impetus in the back end of this innings.
Excellent roar there from the members' stand. Alice Davidson-Richards pouching that right in front of those. Some huge claps and rounds of applause coming there. Very well bowled from Monaghan, opting to go toes, paying off with the wicket of Threlkeld, which was well held.
So the second wicket in the over. A very mixed bag of an over. That brings Kate Cross out to the middle. So 1 to come from Monaghan. That will complete her overs for the day. Cross finds the bottom edge. Can't get off the mark. So a dot to end the over. 18 overs gone. Lancashire 166 for 5.
Well, more tidy work in the field from Surrey. I think given the stage of the game and the player that was dismissed by it, that catch from Spence in the deep, potentially game changing. To have Meg Lanning having to depart before the final throws of this innings taken place. Meg Lanning could have taken Lancashire to 200 and beyond. Now all of a sudden Surrey can keep them below 190. That feels very likely indeed. 24 runs would have to be scored off the final 12 balls, with 2 new batters at the crease, no less.
So Cullier Moore gone for 28 from her first 3 overs. And now to Ailsa Lister. Was another one of those that was part of that first Women's Under-19 World Cup in South Africa. Straying on that leg side, clipped away. Should just be a single, and it will be. Now, Kate Cross was the first player ever to hit a 6 in the 100 ever.
Lovely.
Here on the opening night of the 100, playing for the Manchester Originals, and they would love her to be able to do something similar in the back end of this innings here. She looks to clip this leg side. A bit of confusion, hesitation on the running.
Oh, Moore's done herself a mischief here. The ball's just taken the end of one of her fingers. She looks in real pain. It seemed very innocuous. It was a throw from the ring. There was a bit of a mess between Moore and Kate Cross. Doesn't look good for Moore at the moment.
Yeah, she looks in a lot of pain.
See here, well bowled from Moore, and then Kira Chatley does the fielding. Oh, I wonder if her fingers just got caught between Kate Cross's bat and the ball. That'll be very, very sore indeed.
It's like shutting your finger in a door almost, isn't it? Oof.
So bowling hand as well. I hope it's just bruised and painful as opposed to broken. He's in severe discomfort at the moment. Well, Surrey might be needing to find 4 balls from somewhere. So just use their 5 bowlers so far. The injury is to Moore's bowling hand. See Spence there just mimicking an action. I would be surprised if Surrey's second choice wicketkeeper is asked to bowl 4 balls in this instance. Alice Davidson-Richardson. I've done it again, Davidson-Richardson. It was a tick from last year.
This will be a real concern for Surrey. The 5 bowlers, but genuinely only 5 bowlers, with the exception of Alice Davidson-Richards on the park, with concerns around seam bowlers as well. Kalia Moore will be expected to be a stalwart and a heavy feature over the next few games, so coaching staff will be a little bit concerned as to whether she'll be able to continue and what this will mean in the face of losing Priyanaz Chatterjee as well. They need every bowler they can absolutely get. Laura Harris might have to earn her keep.
Get a few out of Bryony Smith.
Yeah, she's not been bowling much this season. She hasn't turned her arm over at all. I think managing that knee injury of hers has been really important, so I'm not sure they'll want to risk that this blast campaign, but maybe backed into a corner with this.
Well, it looks like Kalia Moore is going to continue. Put a brave face on, some ice on it. Up and over, beautiful looking shot and excellent work. Great awareness of that rope as well from Davidson-Richards. Straight through. Excellent work. Kalia Moore, just 2 deliveries ago, looked in excruciating agony and now picks up a wicket. This is good work in the back end of this innings from Surrey, just to drag things back, take the momentum into their batting and slow Lancashire at the back end of their innings.
It's more just really tidy work in the field from Surrey, and no fuss stumping from Kira Chatterjee. It's not by any means a spectacular piece of work with the gloves, but the ball's come through bat and pad, down the leg side, easy as you like. And after the first 2 or 3 overs of this Lancashire innings, which were a bit loose from Surrey, they've been absolutely exceptional.
6 down now, Fee Morris out to the middle. And crucially, the more recognised batter, Ailsa Lister, at the non-striker's end. So the run rate is still up over 9. However, as you say, after that start and completely dominating the power play, they have been pegged back here, Lancashire. Beautifully played, gave herself room, up and over, and again a Lancashire batter opens their account with a boundary.
Tiny bit short from Moore, but I think that's good batting from Morris. She knows her boundary option is through the offside. So no sweepers are in play. Makes and gives herself room, steps away, so she can cut a ball that's only just outside off stump through the offside. 4 runs.
On the pads this time, worked around the corner. Lister sort of ambling along to come through for the single. She's safe in the end, so it's a single off the final ball of the over. 1 over still to come, 174 for 6.
Well, 6 more runs. It's 180, and I think that will be, regardless of how good Surrey have been in the last 13 overs, 15 overs, the fact of the matter is that Lancashire got such a head start on the match that they're still, I think, in a very strong position. It's been very rare that totals like this have been chased in the blast. Conditions are perfect for batting. So Surrey will be confident they'll be able to reel these runs in. But if McDonald-Gay can finish strong and keep Lancashire below 180, they'll feel a lot better about their chances.
Here comes McDonald-Gay now, just the 12 runs from her first 3 overs, and it pierces that gap. The pigeons, I'm happy to say, are still out there in the covers.
Not that many of them today. Only
Bit
about 7 or 8.
Oh, a bit hot, maybe. Maybe they're spy pigeons.
Southampton pigeons.
Southampton pigeons from Southampton. They'll make movies about that one day, I reckon.
I'm excited for it already. Imagine how much money that intern's getting paid, offered at the moment.
Slow ball from McDonald-Gay, all along the carpet from Lister. A little bit of a hesitation coming back for the second. In the end, pretty home and dry. You would think at this point in the game, you've got to just run that first one hard, turn and go.
I think that was the first of several slower balls we'll see this over from McDonald-Gay. Fine leg is in the circle. She has all her fielders on the offside in the ring. Slower balls at the stumps.
Short has a swat, does Lister, and wide signalled. Was there to be hit. Bit of gardening, it's the way to do it, isn't it? Take your glove off, pick something up, throw it.
All problem solved now.
That's how I solve my problems, pick something up and throw it.
Surprised at that delivery from McDonald-Gay with fine leg up in the ring. Here she comes again.
There it is, the slower delivery, worked around the corner. 2 fielders in pursuit, won't cut it off. Lister into double figures, pushes Lancashire past that 180 mark.
Well, she's been fantastic today, McDonald-Gay, but that's the first time she's really missed. Big full toss down the leg side. With Danny Gregory in the ring, no protection in place to prevent that from going to the boundary. 182, a sizable moment, sizable landmark passed by Lancashire.
Does well, just sticks out a left hand, takes the pace off the ball to keep it to just a single. So 2 legitimate deliveries still to come in this innings. Here on the opening day of the Vitality Blast at the Kia Oval. Beautiful sunshine, barely a cloud in the sky. Fans rolling in, double header. Couldn't ask for more. Bank holiday weekend, there you go, even more. Gives herself room, can't get it through. And good running again, McDonald-Gay throwing herself around to try and execute the run out.
Hit and run cricket at the dying stages of this innings. Found the fielder at backward point. It's all right. 1 run suits everyone there. No one's too perturbed by it either way.
So 1 still to come. Lister swings leg side. They're going to run the first one hard. Come back for a second. She's going to be in trouble here. Absolutely no chance. So run out off the final ball. Coming back for that second run. They had to try and take it. You never know what might happen. But Surrey pick up another at the very back end of the innings. McDonald-Gay well bowled by the returning McDonald-Gay today into the attack. And well, who do you think will feel happiest here? Back end of the innings, yes, Surrey, they recovered, but the way Lancashire started, it really just set them up and they were able to just sort of push on from there without the pressure, weren't they?
I think despite the feeling of the last 3 quarters of that innings is such that Surrey would be happy with how that game has gone, but 185 runs on the board. I don't think a total like that was chased last season, so it's going to, at this current moment in time, I'd rather be Lancashire having scored my 185 runs than being Surrey and having to score my 186 runs to win this game.
Kirstie, what do you make of it?
Yeah, I think Surrey can hold their heads high after recovering from a painful power play. Lancashire certainly sitting in the driver's seat here, but you just can never look away while this Surrey team are batting.
We're going to have a look at scorecards of the first innings. First, Lancashire's batting card. And Eve Jones, well, it was a spectacular start to the Lancashire innings. 22 runs came off the first over that Danny Gregory bowled, and it was in no small part to Eve Jones targeting the boundary and targeting to the straight boundary, to be precise. Meg Lanning was the other star of the show, 40 off 22, and that catch by Jemima Spencer was absolutely spectacular and played an enormous part in Surrey's fortunes changing, because as you can see, she was ticking along 40 off 22 balls. The result was 185 off the 20 overs, 13 wides from Surrey, which is more than they would have preferred. But all in all, yes, Chatterjee and Gregory there, expensive, going at more than 10 runs and over. More as well, creeping up towards 9. I really don't feel like Surrey bowled that poorly. I think it's been a pretty strong effort in the field, especially in the field. But the result is 185 for 7, 186 thanks to our friend Hypercourse. We have reliably informed to be the highest Surrey women's highest chase and the second highest successful chase in any women's T20 match played in England. So that's the task at hand for Surrey. Right, so we will be back for the chase in, I reckon, 6 or 7 minutes' time. Make sure to not go anywhere. If you are watching on the live stream, you'll see the Kia high catch in the interval, but we're deprived of our commentary. So when the kids come out, it is the Kia high catch. 2 of teams of 3 children trying to catch tennis balls being fired from high up in the main from the JM Finn stands.
That concludes our first edition of the Kia High Catch Challenge for 2026. And what an edition it was. A big thanks to the girls from Donatell School in Reigate. If the drama of the Kia High Catch Challenge wasn't enough, it is now time for the second innings of today's first match. Please welcome back the umpires, Sam Hollingshead and James Treadwell.
And we are back for the chase here in South East London. 186 to win for Surrey, which would be the second highest ever chase in a women's T20 match to be held in England. It's a sizable task in front of the home team, but you couldn't ask for conditions to be more perfect. I'm Cameron Ponsonby. I'm joined by Georgie Heath and Kirstie White, and out to the middle for Surrey walk the two skippers, captains in either format. Bryony Smith, captain today, and Kira Chatley, captain of the 50 over format. Go on then, Georgie. What chance are you giving Surrey?
Big target, this one. Obviously, as our wonderful friend Hypercourse so reliably informed us, would have to be Surrey's highest chase in the T20 Blast. But there was the highest once, and it got higher, so there's always the chance. And if you were looking for perfect batting conditions, here at the Kia Oval today is exactly those. Yes, they are without some batting firepower, but you look at someone like Bryony Smith, 3,337 runs. She's got 100 in her T20 career. She's been around a long while, and she's a seasoned campaigner. And then, as you say, her fellow Surrey captain, Kira Chatley, at the other end. So, a very exciting opening partnership. And they saw what the Lancashire opening partnership did, taking on that power play completely, dominating the Surrey bowlers. 22 runs off the first over. So, they'll be looking to try and go about the same.
Grace Potts in from the Vauxhall end. Short to begin with. It's heaved into the leg side, skips off the surface, and the outfield flies out to the deep for just one run. I think Lancashire will feel like they've got away with that one there. One slip in place, bit of swing on offer maybe.
Yeah, a bit of a chuckle there from Bryony Smith. It looked like she was trying to set things off exactly the same way Lancashire did. Didn't quite get enough up and under it, but it was there to be hit. In the end, just the single.
Short again, turned around the corner, and the fielder in the deep's completely lost that. Set off to her left, but the ball had gone to the right. And the result is Kira Chatley gets underway over 4.
Yeah, completely did not read that. This sounds awful, but you know, like when you pretend to throw the ball for your dog one way and it sets off and then you throw it the other way. That's what the impression I was getting from the field here. Just, I don't know whether it's the sun, whether she just misread it.
It's very bright out there on the surface. The white ball versus the kind of scorched outfield square even. Pulled again, that time a dot ball. Maybe being a little bit kind to stare and smell there, because there's still some very lush green grass across this enormous square here at the Kia Oval. It's one of my fondest memories, playing a cricket match with a friend of mine. And here you can see Kira Chatley's stats. Just ticked over 1,000 T20 runs, high score of 95. Earning her recent England call-up. Goes for the scoop, gets the scoop. 4 runs, superb batting by Kira Chatley, and this is a fantastic start to Surrey's runs chase. 2 boundaries in the opening over. They're going to need to be proactive across this run chase. So far, so good.
This is wonderfully read from Kira Chatley. Predetermined, knew that space was there. And knew just how wide Eve Jones was, and she's come slightly finer now.
Swing and a miss. Those 2 boundaries had seen first slip depart. That swing from Potts is why she was there in the first place. This is the game for Surrey, because if Lancashire can sneak a dot ball in here, despite all the action, despite all the drama, Surrey will be on the run rate. No more, no less, and they'll need to repeat that over the course of the innings. Hell of a cricket shot, no run. End of the first over, 9 for no loss.
Yeah, Surrey picking up where Lancashire left off. It's certainly a wicket with no demons in it. It is flat, so there are plenty of runs to be had out there. Grace Potts, the first bowler today to see a little bit of swing in the air. So stand by for more, as Tara Norris looks like she's taking the ball from the other end.
Skipper only throw code up to the stumps as well. Just going to try and pin Bryony Smith to the crease. Tara Norris, your duty bound to say she played cricket for the USA across her time. Try and get a bit of swing back into the right-hander. Deep mid-wicket and deep square leg out on the boundary. 5 fielders in the ring on the offside. That's 4. 2 loose from Norris to start with. That ball just drifting down the leg side, and Bryony Smith able to help it on its way. And all of a sudden, we're only 7 balls into the chase, but you can very much see how 180 runs could be scored, and scored quickly here at the Kia Oval today.
Yeah, this is a nice start, this from Surrey. Again, trying to take on this power play in the same way the Lancashire batters did. Trying to break the back of this chase. Bryony Smith, we know she has power, but it's placement as well that can be so important.
Better from Norris. Spot on in line, just cramping Bryony Smith for a bit of room.
Now, Tara Norris has been part of the WPL. She made history when she was the first ever player to take a 5-wicket haul in the WPL back in 2023. And the fun thing about being the first of something is no one can ever topple that. You can have the most, but someone can always get more.
That will be 4 more. Again, just drifting down the leg side, and Bryony Smith able to help the ball on its way. Enough pace on it that Smith doesn't have to impart any power on the ball at all, just able to tuck it round the corner. And also for Tara Norris, if you are the first person to take a 5-wicket haul in the WPL, it means on a Surrey live stream 3 years later, it can always be referenced.
No, always. Because if you're the highest and then someone topples it, you're not going to go, oh, they were once the most of this, because they're not anymore. But if you're the first...
You'll always be the first. So change of field here. What we've seen fine leg drop out to the deep square leg be in place. Aside from that, the offside fielders remain the same. It means that if Bryony Smith wants to get a bit ugly and muscle the ball over mid-wicket, she can. She gives it her best go first up. This power play will be so crucial to Surrey's chances. You only need to think back to Lancashire's innings, how quickly they scored in the power play when there was only 2 fielders allowed out on the boundary, and how Surrey were able to rein that back in. Width. Shot from Bryony Smith, 1 bounce. She was able to free her hands through the ball, pick up over, mid-on, 4 more. Third boundary of the over.
That's a beautiful looking stroke, landing just inside that rope. For a moment looked like it could have gone the distance, just muscled by Bryony Smith. We know how powerful she is.
Well, a full extension of the arms. Beautiful shot from Smith. Adding power to the touch she showed earlier on in the over when she was turning the ball around the corner. She's timed that wonderfully well. It's a misfield in the deep. Sorry, if they'd really been on the ball, could have potentially snuck back for 2. But as it happens, just the one run is 22 for no loss after 2. Kirstie, sorry, can't have really asked for much of a better start.
Yeah, and initially I did like the plan set out by Tara Norris and Ellie Threlkeld. So they started with a deep square leg and a deep mid-wicket. Obviously, Tara Norris is a natural in-swinger of the ball, so offering the single and happy to say you can pick up one in here, but the margins for error are so fine in this power play that Bryony Smith is able to capitalise on every mistake that Lancashire have made.
So, new bowler for Lancashire, Kate Cross. Very experienced cricketer, played so much for England over the years. To the attack she comes. Driven down the ground again. You can see the trueness of this wicket. Bryony Smith trusting the bounce and throwing her hands through the ball. A very authoritative dot ball.
Had a tricky start to the Metro Bank One Day Cup this season with Kate Cross, but a huge improvement as that's gone on throughout the tournament.
They scamper through for 1. It isn't a run up because Bryony Smith isn't fielding herself at mid-off. Just a little bit of shape on offer for Kate Cross. Lancashire persisting without a slip, as is to be expected. There's a short third in place. The 2 boundary riders are square of the wicket. Chatley goes across the stumps, gets the wide ball. There's been some changes to some regulations. I don't have to be 100% aware they've been enacted, but Chatley, sometimes you can feel a little bit hard done by for the bowler in that Chatley's walked across her stumps, snuck it down the leg side. Wide ball given. She walks across again, lifts that. Will it go all the way? Yes! 6 runs from Kira Chatley. That's the power she's added to her game over the last 18 to 24 months, and it's why she's gone to the next stage, why she's captaining the 50-over side here at Surrey, and why she's been called up by England, because that is a beautiful cricket shot.
Yeah, that's why you put in the hours in the gym and in the nets over the winter, to be able to power it like this, times it purposely from one of England legends. Kate Cross just shows absolutely no respect and dispatches this one beyond the boundary.
Field change immediately. Deep mid-wicket drops out. Cover point comes into the ring. Uses her feet. It's really good positive batting. Shuffles down the crease, knocks the ball to mid-on. An early call of yes. This is really good stuff from Kira Chatley. I think I saw she credited rock climbing with some of her additional strength. A few interviews when she got picked up for some big money in the 100.
There is rock climbing actually just down the road on the way to the station. And I'm reliably informed by Kirstie that that's where she goes.
We've added it all together.
That's it.
Between the 3 of us, no one can stop us.
So, quick rock climbing trip after this, yeah? And you never know, maybe, are you playing on the weekend?
I wasn't planning on. Am I playing or am I going for rock climbing?
If we go rock climbing after this, then you can play on the weekend.
And I'll be better,
runs.
exactly.
Yeah.
Genius.
It takes 1 session.
Lifted into the leg side. It should be safe. A couple of bounces out to the fielder in the deep.
I actually just hate rock climbing because I was always terrible at it. as the third over finishes. 32 for 9. You know, when you had kids' parties and it was rock climbing, and I was like, can we not just go bowling? Because I'm really good at that, and I can't.
Did you have the
I haven't
the
got.
push thing?
I can't build a bicep for love nor money, so I've got very long limbs, and rock climbing is hard, basically.
Yes, I had a friend who started going quite a bit. I think it became a bit of a fad in kind of South London. And I followed him for a bit, and I actually quite enjoyed it.
I think it was a thing for a while, but I just get icked out so much by the shoes. And now everyone plays paddle instead, don't they?
Which isn't much better, to be honest.
But they don't wear icky shoes.
That is
so.
true. All the big topics covered here on the Surrey live stream.
It is, but have you ever watched? You know what is an unreal sport is the speed climbing in the Olympics. And
Yes,
you watch
I'll give you
them,
that.
like Spider-Man. That's unreal. Bouldering, I don't need to watch them staring at the wall. Done. No.
That's Kira Chatley. You can go and
Stare at walls.
follow Kira Chatley along to a rock climbing session. See how she's added to her cricket through climbing up a wall. Doesn't quite make sense, but I'll believe her. Why not? Swing and a miss as Potts comes back into the attack. Surrey making the most of this power play so far. Bryony Smith 16 off 12. Kira Chatley 15 off 7. We've seen an array of shots from Chatley. We've seen the scoop come out. We've also seen a powerful 6 that flew over long on. Into the leg side. Finds a bit of a pocket, but it'll just be one run. Field changes for Kira Chatley. Fine leg comes up. So it's actually the same field that Tara Norris was bowling to initially, but obviously a different angle. Potts bowling right arm over. Direct hits everywhere at the Kira Oval. A shot at the stumps from Lancashire. Bryony Smith was safely home. And a good start to this over so far from Potts. Just the one run from the opening 3 deliveries. These are crucial moments in this game. You get the sense if Surrey are to chase this down, you need to almost positive split the innings. You want to get ahead of the run rate whilst you've got the chance in the power play. Lofted, straight. Hasn't quite got all of it, so it'll just be 2 runs. Bryony Smith needs to get a hurry on there.
Yeah, the way that came off the bat, it looked like it was launching to the rope, but in the end just went up a bit too high, plugged in the end. So 2 more to the total. 35 now on the board for Surrey. Batters 17 apiece, just a very different strike rate.
Up. Tough chance. It's put down. It would have been a fantastic catch from Jones, swirling in the wind. Jones pedalled backwards.
It's one of the hardest ones, isn't it, when you're having to turn around and over the shoulder, but she did all of the hard work. She got herself there, got set, actually managed to get 2 hands to it, and then just squirted out as she hit the floor.
Right, she got a decent chunk of it. 2 hands on it in the end, but 2 runs the result. Out that time. Caught mid-on. Chatley looked to be proactive again. It had been working so well for her, but on this occasion, she doesn't get all of it and she's caught at mid-on. And that's a big wicket for Lancashire, because Surrey were ticking along here at the Kira Oval in pursuit of 186 to win. But at the end of the 4th over, Lancashire taking their first wicket, and it's 37 for 1.
You know who'll be celebrating that one the most? E. Jones. Put down the delivery before. This time, a very regulation catch. Much easier chance, this one. Just didn't get under it. And Kate Cross not going to make any mistake with that one. The first wicket down now for Surrey. And it was Kira Chatley who was striking at a higher strike rate than her captain at the other end. She has to go.
It's a shame because Kira Chatley was batting really well. And we see new face number 3, Alice Davidson Richards, comes to the crease. Kirstie, where's your early money going? Still be rather in Surrey's camp than Lancashire's, or vice versa?
Yeah, I think regular wickets here are going to be key for Lancashire and breaking those partnerships, particularly toppling some key players in the power play. They're going to be really important for Lancashire if they want to hold their position here. Let's come back in a couple of balls and discuss some of their fielders.
It's a beautiful shot to get going. Well, more runs even for Bryony Smith. Kate Cross treated with disdain.
Yeah, just a little too much width on offer, and Bryony Smith, the set batter, just pounces onto this one and pierces that gap on the offside. That's 4 more to the total. Davison Richards, the new batter, hanging out at the other end.
Well, it almost looked like another wicket was going to fall. Bryony Smith swinging into the leg side, an edge flies over the head of backward point. It's just 1 run.
Yeah, not convincing looking strike at all, that from Smith. Just skewed and landing safe. Been heart and mouth moment, but brings Davison Richards onto strike for the first time in this season's Vitality Blast.
Early use of the feet, and goodness me, what a way to get going. 6 runs. Davison Richards into the crease and out for 6 immediately with a laugh as well.
I mean, talk about stating your intent from the off. It was there to be hit, just uses the power, and it just kept climbing, didn't it? Looked like it was going to, I thought it was just going to be 4, this one from Davison Richards. Beautiful timing. She's fallen out of favour with England a little bit.
We might be about to have the same again there. Another shuffle down the crease from ADR. 6 off 1. What a feeling that must be.
Oh, beautiful, eh? Yeah, fallen out of favour a little bit with England in recent times. She's obviously been in and out of those sides. Scored 100 and took a wicket on Test match debut. Only her and WG Grace.
That's a wonderful stat. Width. There is a fielder in place, so just the 1 run. I tell you what, Davison Richards has come out batting like Meg Lanning. So say that stat again.
So it's the first player, Test match player, since WG Grace to score 100 and take a wicket on Test debut.
Excellent. Single to finish the 5th over. And Surrey exactly 50 for 1 here. Run rate, well, we can all do the maths there, of 10. The required run rate remains at around 9. It's been a promising start so far. We've got a thriller shaping up here at the Kia Oval. 186 more to go, or 136 more to go. Kirstie, do you ever hit your first ball of an innings for 6?
I want to say yes. I'm inclined to say no.
Just say yes. We'll agree with you.
I heard it happened.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So 5 overs gone, 50 on the board, going at exactly 10 at the moment. So ahead of that required run rate for now, but you do want to break the back of a chase early and not have to then recover later on. Tara Norris, 13 runs coming from her first over, back into the attack to the captain Smith, who takes her on, first ball, and this one soars beyond the boundary. Bryony Smith says to ADR, whatever you can do, I can do it too.
What have Surrey had for breakfast today? They are flying at the moment. A third 6 of the innings, and all of them have come from the photocopier, really. Lifted up, over long on. First it was Kira Chatley, then Alice Davison Richards, now the skipper Bryony Smith. Surrey are on fire, and they'll need to continue to be if they're going to haul in this total of 185.
This is the way you want to bat, though. You want to take the boundary early in the over. So they're needing around 9 and over. If you get the first ball 4 or 6, it then just takes the pressure off. Or you could just club it to the boundary 2 balls in a row, you know. Who am I to talk?
What's the problem? 33 off 18 for Bryony Smith. Such a confidence-boosting start to the season for her. Playing less 50 over cricket now, just to look after her body. Stay fit for the 20 over stuff where she's still got the armband. She's leading from the front now.
See, now already 10 off the first 2. Well ahead of that run rate. Brings square leg up inside the ring. Long on. Slow ball right at the toes from Norris. Well bowled. Really good response.
Lancashire just need to get through the next 3 balls. Get out of the power play. Get your fielders out on the fence. And you can squeeze Surrey. All of a sudden those singles become mini victories every single time they happen.
Up in the air. It's going to land safe. Gone very, very high. Again, heart and mouth moment. But a little bit of pressure. The dot ball. And these two looking to just keep accelerating. Bryony Smith finds the top edge. Up in the air. It's going to land safe. Gone very...
Just looking for that sweep. We've seen Norris drift down the leg side on occasion today. On that occasion, maybe a tiny bit straighter. Brings Davidson Richards on strike. I'm very excited to see if she tries to deposit Tara Norris for 6 first ball, as well as Kate Cross.
So 61 on the board, and 61 for none is how Lancashire finished their power play. 2 balls still of the power play here for Surrey. They'll just drop and run for a single happily.
Well, without wanting to speak too soon, ADR has drop kicked 1 ball into the stands. She stood on a cut shot which she middled out to the sweeper for 1 run. And she just nudged that ball into the leg side, all of which have been timed perfectly. 3 different shots. She's playing beautifully so far.
Slow ball, misses it, full toss and dispatched. Bryony Smith is not going to miss out if you bowl there to her. 4 more, expensive over from Tara Norris. 6 gone, end of the power play, 66 for 1.
Well, that's a real loosener. And no one's going to miss out on that one. Square leg fielder's probably happy to have not been in the way, truth be told. A run rate of 11. We're now out of the power play, and now the kind of second phase of the game begins. Still reckon just. I'd rather be Lancashire.
Kirstie, which camp would you rather be in?
I think it's pretty evenly poised at this moment. I think while the batting team are scoring runs, you'll certainly err on the side of Surrey, but you just can't look away, and that's what's so great about T20 cricket. It can change at any moment.
So they are finally going to go to some spin here. Darcy Carter picked up 6 wickets in 7 bowling attempts last season. And just tucks up Davidson Richards, who drops it into the onside. So deep square, deep mid wicket, long on and long off. The field stays the same for Bryony Smith. Width on offer, this time outside the off stump, and Bryony Smith is going to eat that up all day long.
She just manufactured that width there, gave herself a bit of room. I thought for a second the fielders in the ring were in the game. It wasn't the cleanest of contacts. There was enough on it to lift it up over the ring away for 4 runs. Darcy Carter was perfect first ball. You've got to bowl straight here. That's where her protection is, on the leg side.
Aerial, straight down the throat, the fielder, and it's gone. Through the hands, over the rope. And things are not going the way of Lancashire at the moment. Kate Cross, already taken 1 today. A safe pair of hands usually.
Well, that's not gone well for anyone. Simple chance in the deep. It's also gone for 4.
Bryony Smith whips her wrists around this one.
She's just got low on cross there. She's catching it around her ankles. Makes a simple chance a bit more difficult. Won't want to see that one again.
In the air, spliced by Davison Richards. Yeah, the full toss should have been given the treatment, but then cross just slightly hesitating and then it falling right at her ankles, through the hands and over the rope. Darted in this time, bit of a drag down from Carter. A real mixed over. So the 12 runs coming from it, 7 gone, 78 for 1.
Yeah, while Cross wouldn't want to have seen that again, I think the fielding could be the difference here between who wins and loses this game. I wanted to note that there are 3 fielders on this Lancashire side, 2 in particular carrying significant shoulder injuries that mean that they are very limited in terms of how they can throw, and Surrey will be really aware of where they can pick their runs up. So keep an eye on where you think they might be.
Don't know why he's yawning. It's all action out here. Just the siesta in the sun, perhaps.
I enjoyed Kirstie's mystery there. Keep an eye, just keep an eye out. Have a guess who they might be.
Gives herself room this time. Just Smith, she's 48 at the moment, eyeing up, opening her campaign with a half century. We already saw a Lancashire opener, Lee Jones, pick up a half century today to start her blast season. And that's through everything, somehow. And just to rub salt in the wounds, it's going to race to the boundary too.
Well, another example, to Kirstie's point, the difference between the 2 sides in the field. It's been given as runs rather than buys. So, Bryony Smith goes to a half century in the opening fixture of this year's 2026 Vitality Blast. She's been batting beautifully so far. That ball was the first ball she hasn't really made contact with.
Gives herself room this time, pierces the gap, and Smith is absolutely flying. This is so difficult to set a field to because she's just using her feet really nicely, dancing around in the crease.
I tell you what, Surrey so far are doing this at a canter. Run rate of 11.5, just 8 and exactly 8 and over required from this point.
Aerial this time, fielder coming in off the rope. It's going to land safe. Things are just going all the direction of Bryony Smith. Brings up the 50 partnership between Smith and Davison Richards. Coming off just 22 deliveries. Happy to just tick it along for a single. So this Jones over, now already 10 runs coming from it, so well ahead of that run rate, going at 11.23 at the moment, Surrey. Square leg comes up inside the ring, cover goes out on the boundary for Bryony Smith. Who hoiks this away leg side to keep the strike for the beginning of the 9th over. So 8 overs gone, 89 for 1 here in the sunshine at the Kia Oval.
I think we're going to look back on that dropped catch by Kate Cross as a vital moment in this game. When you compare how difficult an opportunity Meg Lanning presented to Surrey, that was taken by Jemima Spence in the deep, compared to a very simple chance at long on, which has given Bryony Smith, who's on 58 off 30 and is motoring along a second life. Not only that, the ball went for 4, and then the following over that inside edge snuck past the wicketkeeper as well. I must admit, I thought it was buys initially.
I did too.
I think everyone did, because including Bryony Smith, because no one seemed to quite acknowledge that she made it to 50.
Good to see the fans staying hydrated and refreshed as Carter's in for her second. Gives it the big wind up, Bryony Smith. Just not quite timed. Two fielders out in the deep.
Well, she's missing her bat at the moment.
Might need that.
Drops it on the way down. An ADR.
I'd back her to bat with two. Just scything them around, one in each hand.
Yeah, there's Star Wars about her there. Can't tell you which one. I've only seen one of the films.
I've only seen one. Which one?
I've only seen The Phantom Menace.
Me too.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, that's it must be our generation.
I think also apparently it's meant to be the worst one.
That's probably why I didn't watch the others. Dragged down. Dispatched. One bounce for. Too easy.
And that was a real gift from Darcy Carter in Lancashire. Hit that anywhere. Thought for a second ADR might have picked out a fielder on the boundary. She gets 4 runs.
Great bit of fielding in the crowd too, protecting beverages. Just finding that outside edge as Smith comes through. And they pick up one more. Racing along here. Run rate 11.18. Only need to be going at less than 8 now, that required rate. Dances down the pitch. That is sensational from Bryony Smith. She's absolutely flying here. The Surrey captain brings up the 100 with a maximum.
That has gone several rows back. Bryony Smith showing all her power there. It's £1,000 for a crowd catch if you're here at the Kia Oval. You're in with a chance at the moment.
Lets this one go. Should we call that a genuine leave?
I think she was just befuddled that she didn't know how to hit this ball for 6 immediately.
Think about £1,000. This one, aerial again. Has it got the distance? Of course it has. Bryony Smith goes again, and almost a man in the crowd there about to bag himself 1,000 big ones. Big over that. 9 gone, 107 for one.
This game could be over before it's begun. It's worth reiterating, this will be the second highest women's T20 run chase in England ever across international and domestic cricket. And at the moment, Surrey are making it look very, very easy indeed. Smith's on 71 of 34 balls. Doing, well, the captain's share of the batting. Dropped as well. Be interested to see where Ellie Threlkeld can turn at this moment. Looks like Potts, who's been the pick of the bowlers so far, is back into the attack.
Grace Potts, the only wicket taker so far today, starts her third. Tidy start, they'll still scamper through for a single. The direct hit coming in off the misfield, but well home and safe.
Magnets in the base of these stumps today. Everyone's hitting it, regardless of where the ball's been thrown from. Just for context, Bryony Smith last season played all 14 games. High score of 44, average of 17. It wasn't the best year for the Surrey skipper. And here she is today, 71 of 34 and still going.
This time in the air, fielder out, coming in off the rope. Takes the catch. Finally, Lancashire see the back of Bryony Smith. And Fee Morris, a safe pair of hands. Grace Potts picking up her second wicket of the day.
It's good captaincy from Threlkeld to turn to your star bowler of the afternoon in a moment of need, rewarded immediately. Well held in the end by Fee Morris. Took it very close to the ground. I was worried it wasn't looking the most comfortable underneath the high ball. But eventually a tidy catch taken and a crucial catch for Lancashire. And this is the kind of purchase, the time they buy themselves. If you get up to 185, a couple of wickets, you can still change the match in your favour.
So Bryony Smith goes for 71 off just 35 deliveries, 10 fours and 3 sixes along the way. So strike rate up over 200 for the Surrey captain. And Cam raising his arms in excitement next to me as Laura Harris strides out to the middle. Big smile on the face of the Australian.
I just know that every ball's going to be entertaining now. Whether it's for the next 30 seconds or 30 minutes, we know we're in for some fun. I'm going to get up the stats from last year because it is a wonderful page of information.
So she does have a T20 100 to her name. 2,417 runs. That average, ignore that, because T20 cricket, yes, averages, but strike rate is what's important, as Bryony Smith has just showed us, striking over 200. Keep your eyes on if you're in the crowd.
Delayed break and play here, but looks like we're back underway.
Takes the pace off. First ball to Harris, can't get it through.
So I'll have you know.
Do I need to sit down for this?
Well, it depends.
Yeah?
Depends how
Okay.
shocked you're going to be.
Okay.
The second highest strike rate in the T20 Blast last year was Tammy Beaumont at 163, and she only played 4 matches.
Okay.
Out in front with a strike rate of 208, Laura Harris.
Oh, there we go.
Different universe.
She swings across the line this time, bisects the 2 fielders, power, placement, precision, and Harris is up and running.
Well, delivering almost immediately. I would have preferred first ball, but I'll take second.
Well, I come from a land down under as reverberating around the Kia Oval.
People just starting to arrive in greater numbers as well, and they've timed their arrival well. Bat titled Whack, very apt.
Looks to mix it up. She misses. Very, very close for Grace Potts. And again, Harris just smiles and laughs.
She must have a wonderful freedom when she plays cricket. Just to kind of remove herself from the potential consequences. Captain's dream or a captain's nightmare. I've never quite been able to work it out.
Again, across the line, fielder cuts it off, so it will be a single. Harris will keep strike for the beginning of the next over. Halfway through the allocated overs of the chase here, 10 gone, 113 for 2.
Laura Harris's last outing here at the Oval was in fact in that Vitality Blast final. And she came in and she stunned with 25 from 11 balls, which included 3 fours and 2
4 threes,
sixes.
hell of an effort.
4 threes, imagine. 3 fours and 2 sixes, with a strike rate of 227. Fond memories, so she'll be pulling on that muscle memory, I'm certain, to see if she can accumulate quickly here for Surrey.
I was trying to work out with some of the Surrey coaching staff about whether the inclusion of Laura Harris means you want to make the boundaries as small as possible or as big as possible. So if you've got someone who can clear them, do you want to make them really big because she's the only person who can, or do you want to make them really small so she can do it consistently over and over again? We didn't quite have the answer. Well, maybe they came to a conclusion, but they didn't tell me. Anyway, Kate Cross back into the attack. Harris on strike, 5 off 4. Short. Lifted up into the air. Will that be 6? Yes. A pitching wedge over the rope. It was baseball, it was golf, it was also just about cricket, and it's 6 runs.
It was also just about enough, falling about a foot beyond that rope. For a moment, you would have thought it was just hanging in the air enough, and then it's just died beyond the rope. But 6 more. Surrey really are racing along in this chase.
We're almost at the point where it's a runnable required. 6.8 the required run rate for Surrey. I still can't say that.
It is.
Gives herself room, lifted. Cover calls for it, cover takes it. And Laura Harris, 11 off 6, is done and dusted. Lancashire just keep that door slightly ajar. There is a chance they can fight their way back into this game. Surrey, 119 for 3.
Well, Cam, you said it was going to be fun while it lasted, and it was, but
Yeah.
sadly, didn't last that long. And in the end, it's Kate Cross who has the last laugh. Stepped back, gave herself room, and just skewed up in the air. It went up very high, came down with snow on, even in the sun of South London. But she'll have to go.
What a life. 11 off 6. Walk in, hit a 6, get out. See you next week. No problem. I'm a big fan. And even in the context of this match, 11 off 6 is obviously the most sizable contribution, but it's above the run rate. Put Lancashire on the back foot, and it means the likes of Jemima Spence now coming in has time to play with 67 required off 58. Brilliant catch in the deep from Spence earlier on today. Still a blossoming career, just the 93 career runs. This is her first year really being a first team regular. Has had the gloves when Kira Chatley's been away. Very highly thought of here at the Kia Oval. Beautiful shot to get going. Behind square, they'll think about 2. Decide against it.
They won't be getting too worried just yet. Just the 3 wickets down here for Surrey. They've got batting to come. Davison Richards is nicely set, 17 from 10, showing us she's got the power hitting as well in her armoury today. So Spence has the time to get herself in. 66 from 57 now needed.
Interesting as well that Spence has come in ahead of Paige Schofield. I expected to see Schofield in by now. Laura Harris had a little bit of a promotion. She was carded at 6, but all these things are malleable and subject to change. Beautiful. That should race away, and does race away. Just sneaking between the 2 fielders in the offside. Spence is off and running. 5 off 2 for her.
She gives it a little shimmy as well.
There's just must be so much. You start playing kind of cricket, whether it's at your club or whatever, and then you come down for a day on a Friday afternoon with a good few thousand in tunes playing whenever you strike a boundary. Why wouldn't you be dancing? So, end of the 11th over. And an eventful one. 13 runs off it and a wicket. Sorry, 126 for 3. Just 60 more runs required for victory. You've got Jemima Spence seeing them well. And Alice Davidson Richards. Well, she's been playing kind of second hand to whoever she's been at the crease with, but she's been batting beautifully well. And we have a Scottish cap in the crowd. The Scots are in town today here at the Kia Oval. 3 of them on the pitch, and at least 1 off it as well.
What's key to note here is run rate is important, and you can see from the big scoreboards around the ground what rate Surrey are striking at. But actually, runs to win versus balls remaining will be on Surrey's mind, and closing that gap over by over. At the start of the last over it was 9, it now is 7. Quick maths from myself there. And they'll be thinking about what is the maximum number of runs they want to leave themselves to score from the last 12 balls.
Darcy Carter. Change of ends for the off spinner. Oh, drag down again. Gets away with it. Just the 1 run scored. That was a real gimme, and ADR punches herself in the head with her bat a little bit. It wasn't as dramatic as I've made it sound there.
Punches herself in her head with a bat.
It was what she did. Gently. Tweak to the field. Mid-off comes in for Jemima Spence. Cover point drops out. For that shot exactly there.
Trying to decide which camp I'd rather be in at the moment. If they can get Davidson Richards, Lancashire will feel very buoyed.
No, I think Surrey very much the favourites at the moment. They've batted extraordinarily well. Sun's out. ADR just drying her hands off in the dirt of the wicket's end at the non-strikers. Spence goes for the reverse. No dice on this occasion.
It's almost carbon copy of the way Laura Harris tried to go about her business earlier. Very quick movement. This from Spence.
Another dot ball. So good over so far from Carter. Got away with that first ball, bowled a really nasty drag down, which only went for 1. Confidence is built throughout. Quicker on this occasion. And has just found a gap in the deep there. It's a massive boundary out towards the leg side, so they are able to get back for 2. 5 runs scored. A net positive over for Lancashire. 12 overs gone here, 130 for 3.
Yeah, good bit of running as well. Good awareness of how long that boundary is out towards the left of us here. A little chat between the two in the middle. Davidson Richards just taking the gloves off, drying a bit of sweat off her hands. Nice to have a day warm enough to not need hand warmers. Crowd enjoying things. The hats are out. The sun is out. Beginning of a bank holiday weekend. Honestly, just everything coming up roses. Or feathers, perhaps. Who knows? 3 feathers. Sorry.
There we go.
Thank you.
Took me a little bit.
Did. It's all right. Early season.
Jones back into the attack. Some left arm spin. Drops it on a length, and that's nailed down the ground. Just be 1 run. Jones just looking to drift the ball in towards the stumps. Tweak to the field again. It's pretty much automatic now. When Spence is on strike, slightly less powerful. Mid-off comes up, point drops out, and a miss stumping. It's just kept in before going for 4 byes. That ball's just drifted in between bat and pad. Very similar in many ways to the Kira Chatley stumping earlier. This ball's beaten Threlkeld. And a wicket opportunity goes begging.
Should be disappointed there, Threlkeld. Great set of gloves normally.
1 run taken. So Spence has been very busy at the crease. Sticking along at a runnable so far. 9 off 9.
We're doing exactly what she's required to do at the moment. Davidson Richards at the other end, well set, 21 from 14.
Lifted. Should be out. Isn't out. Kept spinning over the fielder. She was backpedaling, but unable to make up the ground.
Yeah, frustration there from Tara Norris. She sort of hesitated. She came forward and then actually realised that the ball had a little more elevation than she'd first anticipated. Does well, gives herself room, just finds that toe end. And Norris in the end ends up flailing 1 arm above her head.
Full toss. Should be kept in. It is on this occasion. I think Hannah Jones will be ticking a bit at the moment. She'll feel like she should have both these batters out at the end of this over. Instead, she has neither. Swept away. Lovely shot from Spence for 1 run. And another eventful over, but crucially for Surrey, a wicket where no wicket, an over where no wicket falls. 13 gone, 138 for 3.
Yeah, and although Hannah Jones will feel she should have picked up 2 wickets in that last over, the last 12 deliveries from the Lancashire bowlers have been quite fruitful for Lancashire, restricting the number of boundaries, which is absolutely what they need to be doing in this phase of the game, where spinners have been particularly punished. So Darcy Carter and Hannah Jones bowling a good partnership together.
Well, Carter to finish off. Well, Spence has swapped her hands over, maybe. She premeditated a reverse. And that's gone a long way down the leg side. The umpire's decided not to give a wide ball. I think there's been I think we're all gonna carry on from that one. When it sneaks through Darcy Carter's legs and goes for 4. Things are not going Lancashire's way at the moment here at the Kia Oval. They had a bit of luck there, where a really loose ball went down the leg side, wasn't given as a wide ball because Jemima Spence had flipped her hands over to play it left-handed. But then here, a ball later, just when you think they might be using their luck, it sneaks through Darcy Carter and goes all the way for 4. One more run scored. Lancashire, they're just about still in this. Davidson Richards playing one of the quietest innings of 24 of 16 you're ever likely to see. Big full toss. Again, just 1 run.
Yeah, Alice Davidson Richards, can't believe she's missed out on that. She's actually run down the pitch with her arms out wide. But no ball now signalled. First no ball we've seen of the day. So it will be a free hit. And just nothing going Lancashire's way at the moment. There's the signal, the big lasso. It's one of my favourite dance moves.
Well, I can only assume that's for height. Big and full toss from Carter, who's having a difficult time just controlling the ball at the moment. She does bowl the bouncer for the free hit. It's a very good change-up. Wasn't expecting it. Takes Spence up on the splice. 1 run scored. Again, a lot of cricket happening at the moment. 40 off 38 to win for Surrey. Powerfully struck by ADR, but that's just 1 run. 1 ball left for Carter to complete her 4 overs. Davidson Richards only faced 18 balls. She's been in for 10 overs. Ow. That's taken Darcy Carter on the ankle. I think we might have a little bit of a break in play. We'll see if Lancashire's physio is anywhere to be seen. They are being gestured on at the moment. 14 overs gone, 147 for 3. Darcy Carter's day with the ball is done regardless. Difficult outing for her. 40 runs conceded.
Oh. She's done well to stop it, actually. I think just ricocheted up into the chin, so we'll have to have all the checks from the physio.
Imagine the pain of missing the previous one was in her mind. Stuck an ankle on the way. saved 4, maybe even only saved 1, but we won't dwell on that too much. Surrey well in control here, but just know that a couple of wickets and all of a sudden 6 and over, rather than being a walk in the park, and all of a sudden sound a lot like run a ball. Run every ball. That's way too many. We're starting to get a bit of a bubble here at the Kier Oval. Just hear through the outside microphone the chatter that's building around the ground. 15,000 tickets sold for tonight already. Add on to that number of members that are expected to come down as well. I'll say we've already got 3,000 or 4,000 in at the moment. We're carrying on. 6 overs to go. Potts to finish off. She's been the pick of Lancashire's bowlers so far. She's going to need a wicket again here. Goes for the scoop. Misses. Misses everything.
She knew very early, made the decision to go for the scoop, fine leg up inside the ring, so just got to get something on it to get it up and over.
Goes again. This time, how on earth has the ball ended up there? That has completely and utterly thrown me. She must have toe-ended that. But it's gone miles if it has gone off the toe.
In my head, that was going to fine leg.
On second viewing, I'm still none the wiser. It's a dot ball. Short and wide. Powerfully cut. And it can't be stopped in the deep. Again, just a snapshot between these two sides in the field. Surrey were making phenomenal stops out in the deep. That ball goes for 4. It brings up the 150 for Surrey. They just need 35 more runs to complete what would be the second highest ever chase in women's T20 cricket in England.
I love watching Alice Davidson-Richard bat because after everything there's some kind of gesticulation of some form, or something's funny, or she's laughing with her batting partner about something.
Goes for a third time, gets it this time. Third time lucky for Davidson-Richards, and back-to-back boundaries. That run rate drops below a runner ball. 31 required off 32 balls. And ADR's playing a bit of a gem here. She's been at the crease for a long time, but been starved of the strike often. She's ticking along and seeing her side home so far.
Been determined to play that shot, hasn't she? Tried it twice, neither of them coming off. The second defying all kind of physics from where we're watching, and then this time gets it very fine. It's a short enough boundary.
Short and wide again. Powerfully played in front of square. Brilliant stop in the deep. Really excellent work. Darcy Carter. Ankle feeling a little bit better. Keeps it to 2.
Still 10 off the over already. One still to come. This from Potts to complete her set for the day.
Should just be 1. And is Kate Cross. Does the fielding in the deep. 15 overs gone, 158 for 3. And we do have a replay of that Alice Davidson-Richards ramp 4.
I wanted to look back over this ramp because Threlkeld's not really seen this at all until very late. Premeditated, but Davidson-Richards managed to hide the bat. Threlkeld can't react quick enough, otherwise that would have been a regulation pouch for Threlkeld.
You see Threlkeld almost kind of jut her head out of the way. She's trying not to get hit.
So 5 overs still to play with, just the 28 runs needed. Hannah Jones back into the attack. The left armer coming round the wicket and takes this on straight away from Davidson Richards. Ticks over to 38. Happy to deal in singles. Now just 27 needed from 29 for the defending champions. The shadow just starting to creep over the ground to our right. In the air and just over the fielder mid-off. I think she might have got a fingertip to it. Just wishing she'd stood in more compost as a kid, grown a little bit more, eaten her spinach, but in the end it goes for 4.
Well, how's your luck, Hannah Jones? Just evades the fingertips of mid-off. And the third half chance. An over and a half goes begging for Jones.
Dances down the pitch this time, straight as an arrow. Really good work there by Kate Cross to cut it off. Just has a look at her hand.
Well, it's good, positive, powerful batting from Spence. Not much spin on offer from Jones. The batter looking to use her feet, get down towards the pitch of the ball and wallop it straight. Surrey aren't interested in taking this to the very end. They want to win this now.
Goes for the ramp, gets it fine enough, and that should be 4 more. There's Davidson Richards, who was keen on the ramp earlier, and now Spence joining the party.
It's beautiful batting from Spence. Using her feet the previous 2 deliveries, using her power, and on this occasion, getting down low and scooping the ball up and over the wicket-keeper into the right of short fine leg. Really delicate and effective batting.
This time pierces the gap and finds the boundary yet again. Beautiful footwork from Spence, inside out, through the covers. 4 more, she moves to 30.
Well, that feels like game, set, match. A flurry of boundaries from Surrey and from Spence in particular. 3 in the over means that Surrey only need 13 more to win. This has been a truly remarkable run chase.
Yeah, the defending champions showing their intent to try and keep that trophy in the cabinet. It'll be a dot to end an eventful over. 15 runs coming from it. 16 overs gone, 173 for 3. Just 13 runs needed to get their campaign up and running here at the Kia Oval.
How's the catalogue of shots from Jemima Spence? Going paddle sweep, then reverse sweep to finish off. Looks to be a very special player.
A few overs ago, Surrey were 61 required from 54 balls, and we were speaking about that gap, closing that gap. It's now well and truly closed, requiring less than a run a ball. Exactly the position Surrey would have wanted to get into. Completely different approach to their innings than Lancashire, maintaining a steady run rate throughout. He's really enjoying himself, this chap.
Getting the siesta in.
Oh, mate.
Wake up.
Oh, no,
you could win a grand if you catch the ball. Completely done for Davidson Richards. Almost like she's having a snooze too there.
It is one of the great naps, though.
No, the head's not,
nap.
though.
The head's not. The head's traumatic in a...
Moves across early, pulls across the line. There is protection out in the deep at deep mid-wicket, so just be a single. I mean, a snooze in the sun. You can't complain too much, can you? But I do worry about how much his neck is going to hurt after that.
I'm worried about what the social media teams, the Vitality Blast, are doing at the
Yeah,
moment.
oh. Bit of width on offer. Ticks off just another single. 11 needed now. Aerial. It's going to bisect the two fielders, almost runs past it. And again, for all that effort, just a single, 10 needed now.
Look at the change in tempo of Spencer's innings. How that one Hannah Jones innings over has changed what her time at the crease looked like. She was 9 off 9, 10 off 10, and 20 runs off her next 10 balls.
Taken. Excellent work, diving forward, both hands under it. And Tara Norris makes no mistake. Kate Cross gets her second. It's not over just yet.
Very good catch from Tara Norris. I fear it's going to be a little bit too little, too late for Lancashire. Not been at their best in the field. But this was a sharp catch. Bit of width. Dying on her at backward point. And well held. It's a shame for Jemima Spence. She won't be able to take a stump and walk off unbeaten, but another promising innings.
Funny if she did take a stump though. I'll have that.
That's enough for me. And Paige Schofield. I know Surrey are missing several players currently because of the clash of the World Cup. But to have Paige Schofield coming in at 6, goodness me.
Yeah, there's obviously another player that's been in and around those England ranks over the last few years. Just the 10 runs now needed. Davison Richards at the other end, 40 from 28. She's really played her part in this chase. I know it's very early in the season, day one, but thinking about net run rate as well, something you don't want to have to think about down the back end of the tournament. Surrey could do this with aplomb. And Schofield up and running. So she'll keep strike for the beginning of the next over. 17 gone, 177 for 4, now into single figures. Surrey needing 9 to win to get their campaign up and running with a win in their title defence.
Just to give you an idea of how much strength and depth Surrey have in their batting. Schofield coming in at 6, Alice Monaghan still to come, Callie Moore still to come, Rihanna McDonald-Gay still to come, Priyanaz Chatterjee still to come. So bang all the way down the order.
So 9 from 18 doesn't sound too difficult an ask then.
I want justice for Danny Gregory here. You've lifted the team all the way down to 10 and then stopped.
Well, nice to see a few fans with their eyelids open for the last few overs of this game ahead of the men's game. Also Surrey versus Lancashire this evening, double header opening day, the T20 Blast here at the Kia Oval. Plenty of matches also going on all around the country too. Can we officially declare it summer yet?
Oh, I think so. Heat wave in late May.
Oh, stop.
Up and running.
So Tara Norris to bowl just her third over. Gone for 29 from her first 2. Fine leg just moving slightly squarer. 2 out in the deep on the pull. Long on from deep point. It's a good start this from Norris.
I think if you're Paige Schofield, quite happy just to knock this ball around here. Finish with a bit of red ink.
Very tidy this start from Norris, not giving any width to the new batter. Looks to pull this away. Good bit of work by Ellie Threlkeld, who's not had her best day behind the stumps, you would say. Still 9 to win. Just a little mothers' meeting. They'll scamper through for a single, take on the throw. Good running in the end. It does bring Davidson Richards back on strike. And the way she's been striking it today, she could get this over very quickly.
It just shows the difficulty. Whenever you're new to the crease, just the run rate, the handbrake that can be put on in innings. Schofield quite happy to just knock and run there. ADR was quite late to set off. You see, this is a hallmark of David Richards' batting. Playing really deep in her crease, both feet in the popping crease.
And all along the carpet will just be a single. That field stacked up inside the ring on the offside for Davidson Richards, who now moves on to 41. 7 needed from 13 here in the sunshine of the Kia Oval. Around 4,000 already in the ground for this afternoon's match, and then plenty more to roll in after work. Not a bad Friday evening. Not timed again. And again, they'll just come through for a single. A little bit tighter, perhaps, than they would have expected. But 3 runs coming from the over. Tidy from Norris. 18 gone. 180 for 4. And now just 1 hit away here, Surrey, from getting their title defence up and running with a win.
4,000 in at the Kia Oval currently. Shaping up to be a wonderful evening. It's already been a wonderful afternoon, especially if you're of a Surrey persuasion. More and more people making their way through the gates for the first Vitality Blast day of the year. And Hannah Jones is changing ends. She'll bowl her 4th and final over. And I feel like it'll be a sense of justice if she's able to take a wicket with her for her journey back up to Manchester. She bowled pretty well. A number of opportunities have gone a begging off her bowling.
Just running down for a chat with her captain. Long off and long on, both out. Deep square leg and deep mid wicket. And just as we say that, long off comes up inside the ring. 6 runs needed, Schofield on strike. Gives it a big swing. And that'll be 4 of them. Now just 2 needed to win here, Surrey. Sat up there to be hit, and Schofield will not miss out on those.
Yep, 2 short from Jones. Schofield's very quick onto the back foot. Hammers that through long on. 2 to go.
Not just yet. A little fuller from Jones. Rocks off the back foot, and the scores are now level.
Well, I always enjoy keeping an eye out for what teams do in the field at this point. Is it a case of everyone in? Do you leave one lurking out in the deep just to prevent that free hit? Looks like we're going to have deep mid-wicket staying in place.
Picks up the fielder, not over just yet. Still 1 needed. Alice Davison Richards. She's just a cartoon, isn't she? There's always something going on.
If Paige Schofield had been run out there, she would have been spewing at her partner.
Aerial. That's the way to finish it with a maximum. Alice Davison Richards sends it beyond the boundary to give Surrey their first win of their title defence, their highest run chase, and they have done it with ease in the end. She finishes unbeaten on 47, and what a chase that has been from Surrey.
Remarkable. History made here at the Kia Oval. Surrey's highest ever T20 chase and the 2nd highest ever in women's T20 cricket, both international and domestic, here in front of our eyes. And what's more, they did it with ease. 7 balls to spare, in no small part down to the skipper, Bryony Smith. She made 71 off 34 balls and made Lancashire's 185 look under par. Lancashire got off to such a good start in their batting innings. And ultimately, on a beautiful day, on a beautiful wicket, a fast outfield, well, it was a run fest.
Yeah, it was. The way Lancashire went about their business in that power play, it looked like they were on for something quite monumental, but Surrey dragged it back, and that's a sign of a good champion side. Don't get bogged down. Yes, they can take away in the power play, but they rescued it wonderfully. And then in the chase, it was just masterful in the end.
A real clinic, yes, from Surrey in terms of how to chase down the competitive total that Lancashire's set. A run rate never dropping below 11 and over. A real clinic in how to play T20 cricket from Surrey. Unlike their previous one-day cup, no collapses, just a solid batting performance from top to middle order from the Surrey batters.
So the two teams just shaking hands. A great start this to their campaign for Surrey, defending champions. Obviously Lancs won the T20 Cup last year, the County Cup, equivalent of sort of cricket's FA Cup if you ask me, beating Surrey in the final there. But Surrey, T20 Blast, defending champions and showing exactly what helped get them to that title last year. Clinical in the chase, at home at the Kia Oval. Now they can put their feet up in time to watch the men's.
Well, there's a Surrey batting card. Bryony Smith, the star of the show, 71 off 35 balls. Was dropped midway through that innings, a crucial chance at long on where Kate Cross put the opportunity down. And once she and Surrey were given that second life, well, there was no looking back. Lancashire's bowling card, Grace Potts, undoubtedly the star of the show, 2 for 31 off her 4 overs. And aside from that, it was very difficult to keep a lid on anything. All the bowlers going at the best part of 10 runs and over, which meant Surrey saw themselves home with 7 balls to spare. And I believe we have Sam Keir.
So I'm here pitch side with the
Bryony Smith
victorious
down.
Surrey captain, Bryony Smith. Bryony, a great way to start the campaign.
Yeah, definitely. We wanted to get off to a really fast start. We've got a busy week coming up, so yeah, really pleased with how today went.
In the field, obviously a very quick start for Lancashire, but you guys brought it back nicely. What were you saying to the guys to make sure that things didn't get away from you?
I just think we were a bit frazzled at the start, but we just said, like, keep our plans really simple, make them hit to our boundary riders, and we pulled it back brilliantly in the last few overs.
Now, you haven't had a huge amount of cricket so far this summer, so must be very satisfying to come out first game of the Blast and play an innings like that.
Yeah, definitely had a bit of an on and off start for the 50 overs, so yeah, really happy to get off to a start and get a big win.
And the good thing, of course, about 20 over cricket is you don't have to be out there for too long, but you were there for much of our innings, so how is everything from a physical point of view?
Yeah, we'll be all right. Quick turnaround, we travel tomorrow, play Sunday, so I'm sure we'll be in the ice bath in a minute.
Good stuff. And then, of course, your innings, but then that partnership throughout, those partnerships throughout, so important as we've seen in the 50 over stuff that guys play together throughout the innings. A word for Alice and the guys batting around her as well.
Yeah, definitely Al, sort of that, keeping it really simple in the middle. Thought we got off to a good start with Kira as well. And as I said, we bat all the way down our batting order and we back ourselves to chase any score.
Well, it was great seeing you in form and, of course, the guys doing the business there. A great victory for Surrey. But I'm pleased to say that for today, in our first Vitality Blast match of the summer, you are the player of the match. And to present your award, I've got Naomi and Lily from Dunatar School. So for her 71 from 35 balls, player of the match, Bryony Smith.
Well, Sam Keir down pitch side with Bryony Smith, the winning captain. The Surrey have got their Vitality Blast campaign off to a winning start. Worth reiterating again, the second highest ever successful run chase in women's T20 cricket in England. There's the tail of the tape. Eve Jones's 56 off 31 looked to have been enough for Lancashire to begin with. 185 is what they ended up on after a lightning start, but then Surrey just dragged them back in. And Surrey, well, in truth, with the benefit of hindsight, it never looked in doubt. They've won their first fixture of the season by 6 wickets, but don't go anywhere. So we're on to the men next. They get going in just over an hour's time. We'll have all the action here on the Surrey live stream, and we'll see you then.